once a year, so don't miss out. But hurry.
On 2AY.
Welcome back to the Baker Motors pre-game show. The Tigers have defeated the Bulldogs in the reserves clash, and we're 8 minutes away from the bounce of the ball as we welcome the Mayor of Albury to O&M Live. How many football broadcasts have we got a Mayor broadcasting for them? None. There you go. Kylie King joins us. Kylie, last time we had you for I think it was Albury against Wodonga. It was Ladies' Day at the Kennel. And ironically, it's Ladies' Day today here at Albury. What is it with you following the Ladies' Day events?
Oh, look, what can I say? They knew the Mayor was in town, so they put on some drinks. And Sponsors' Day as well. So been up there. Saw Andrew Harrison, our GM from 2AY up there. So, yeah, I mean, the Albury Tigers do it well, don't they? That last home game for the season. They really put on a show for their sponsors and members.
Absolutely. Now, you're going to stay on this side of the ground, or are you going to go to the sponsors and the Ladies' Day tents?
No, I'll do the right thing with the team. I'll come and stay over this side. One in, all in. No, it'll be great.
An absolute professional. My name's Gus McLeod. Brad Freak, Luke Francis and Kylie King are with you on O&M Live. On the other side of the break, it's the bounce of the ball on O&M Live. Round 17, Wodonga take on the Albury Tigers on O&M Live, where you won't miss a thing.
Clear homes every day.
Beauty.
Let's get ready to rock. Find a posse, yeah?
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball.
Great to have your company at the Albury Sports Ground for a massive O&M Live broadcast game this afternoon. It's the Tigers and the Dogs on O&M Live. The toss of the coin has gone up, and it looks like Jimmy Grills has won the toss, Kylie.
Yes, he has, and they will be kicking to the Hume Street or River direction of the ground here at the Albury Sports Ground. It's fair to say, lads, that she's pretty brisk out here today. There's no rain as such, a little bit of mist that's kind of been hanging around all morning and in the early stages of the afternoon, really. 9 degrees currently, feels like 7, and I concur that it definitely feels a bit chilly. If that wind picks up, it will be very cold out here, but in terms of the ground, no surprises that it's in pretty good nick. Watching a little bit of the reserves, seem to be a little slippery early on, but I think it's going to be okay for a nice game of footy.
Brad Freak, who are keeping tabs on the 40-wing stat sheet this afternoon?
Yeah, with the Albury Tigers, we're looking at Jake Gaynor, Elliot Powell, Anthony Miles, Jim Grills and Riley Bice. And if we have a look at the Wodonga Bulldogs side of things, we've got Josh Mathy, Matt Wilson, Angus Baker, Adam Jorgensen and Matt Sorochinski. Now, I'm going to apologise in advance because I'm going to stuff that name up a couple of times this afternoon. So
Sorochinski?
I'm going to apologise in advance if I bugger it up, but I'm just laying claim to that I'm, get a bit of tongue-tied with that name sometimes, Gussie. I'm sure you might as well.
Oh, don't worry. Kylie King, a tip from you this afternoon?
Oh, geez. I'm going to stick with the Tigers. I know that Wodonga went out pretty hard, pretty fast early on against Wang Rovers, so I'm sure they'll keep up with them as much as they can. So I am going to go the Tigers.
Freaky?
I'm probably going to have to lean just towards the Tigers being at home.
Lukey Francis?
Tigers by 3 goals, Gussie.
Just to be something different, I'm going to go with the Dogs. I reckon they got a lot to play for in season 2023. Great to have your company on 1494 2AY. The umpire holds the Sharon aloft, and for A-grade oars and batteries, you're with Luke Francis on O&M Live.
Here we go. It's the battle of the border. In the middle, Muller and also Griffiths. Ball came to ground. Jorgensen goes in, got the hand pass out to Matey. They go forward quickly here, the Dogs. Then off hands. Kick forward by Yelland, just over the top of Jet Cassidy, reels it in, then gives it to Sam Jewell, got swung around in a tackle, spat out the back by Sam Jewell again, and here's Ainsworth getting his hands on the ball early, tried to get it out to a Doggies teammate, back to Yelland, rough along the ground, here's Matey, just with a quick kick on the boot, turning around Cassidy, snap on goal, and it's gone through for one behind. So the Dogs on the steel line scoreboard early, one behind. They lead the Tigers zilch here at the sports ground.
Boys, Anthony Miles is just coming off the ground. Real heavy collision at that very first centre bounce. Went down on the ground and doesn't look like he's in a real good way. So you have to keep a real close eye on him. Might be a early concussion, I think that's what it might end up being. So maybe potentially a real early out for the Tigers at the first centre bounce.
We'll get Kylie to keep tabs on that one. Boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. A late change to the Wodonga Bulldogs. Coming into the side is Nick Beattie, and out of the side is Gabriel Crothers, who's a little bit ill. As the Tigers have the footy in the back pocket. 1 minute 20 gone on the A.T. Jones time clock. Elliot Powell switches the ball for the Albury Tigers to the outer side. The clubroom side as they kick long down the ground to a contest. Well done there by Deneen. Got the front position for the Dogs. Handballs over the top. Tries to find Spiteri, who can't quite keep it in the field of play. And the boundary umpire says, give it here, boys. We'll bring it back into play 70 metres from Dogs' goal.
One other matchup to watch out for as well. It looks like that Jake Page is running with Angus Baker. He went in the first centre bounce with him, and he's gone down to full forward Angus Baker, and Jake Page has gone with him as well.
left of centre wing on the clubroom side. Ball came to ground. Grills got it up to Powell, and then Powell goes with a high ball towards the centre of the ground. Big fist over the top from Sorochinski. Reece King, oh, look at him, palms up a couple of dogs and got it to Powell. And then Powell tried to get a sweeping hand pass. Samju intercepted though. On to Jorgensen, down towards the goal square, and getting back was Mick Duncan for the Tigers. Does well, and he comes out of defence.
And he finds Colby Hannah-Hennessy across right half back for the Albury Tigers. Netball court's pocket. Dangerous kick inboard. Elliot Powell, good use of the body against the dual stick, and Powell plays on. He's going to use the corridor for the Albury Tigers with a kick into a bit of space. Sits okay for Ben Kelly. Uses his ruck skills onto Hillary, and the Tigers are into attack. Bice is the target. Coming off his line is Morrison. Clever from Bice. Gets it onto Conlon. Snaps across his body, and Jacob Conlon gives the Albury Tigers the dream start on his non-preferred 25 metres out slide angle. And the Tigers, they're on the steel line scoreboard first.
Yeah, just really smart play there by Riley Bice. Just had Charlie Morrison running at him in towards the pocket in front of the old scoreboard there, but just punched it back out in the path of Jacob Conlon. He did a nice snap there around the corner and was able to put that one through for the first goal of the day for the Tigers. Elliot Powers involved in that play. He's already up to 4 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet as well. He started really strongly for the Albury Tigers.
Yeah, great goal to Jacob Conlon. So an inside 50 for the first time to the yellow and black. And they get a major. Here's Muller back in the middle. Got his hands to it on the second attempt. Jorgensen, who started the game, he's been busy. And then brought to ground. Jorgensen, he will get the free kick. So Adam, who played a great game last week. Now, what's happened here? Umpires let it go to Baker, in fact. He goes short to Jorgensen, very short. And plays on. This is Noah Bradshaw. Still inside the centre square, the Dogs. Now they go forward. Here's a long, deep entry towards the pocket. Front spot, Lucas Conlon holding up for the Tigers' defence. Takes a good mark. And he went with a banana. The delivery was poor. And he sits Patiri out there. So Noah, the man on the marks at 50. That's Max Byrne for the Tigers. In goes Patiri to the goal square. Wilding got two hands and paid the mark by the umpire. A late call in the end, I thought, Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly was. I thought there might have been potentially a few other hands from our vantage point, but the umpire's obviously a lot closer than we are. The nice good kick there from Noah Spatiri just to put it into the hot spot, though, and Oscar Wilding, who touched on in pre-game, Gus, he's had a really strong year for the Dogs.
Yeah, the Bulldogs looking at their first for the game, and he kicks it, Oscar. So 7 plays 6 on the steel line scoreboard. A.T. Jones time clock has gone close to 3 minutes here, opening term.
Yeah, really good. Just probably a poor kick there by Lucas Conlon, just coming out of the back line. Tried to use a little banana rather than a drop punt, and Noel Spatiri intercepting there 50 and just putting it into a dangerous position just at the top of the goal square. Really strong mark there by Oscar Wilding to put that one through, and as we touched on, he's having a really, really strong year. I think, Gussie, if there's probably a 30-man squad for the O&M team of the year, I think he might nearly sneak into it this year, the way he's been playing for the Dogs.
Goal number 37 for Oscar, so you'd have to certainly say he's around the mark. We'll get Kylie King to keep tabs on the Albury bench. Both Anthony Miles and Isaac Muller have come to the interchange. We'll cross to Kylie as soon as we get a break in play. It's now Powell on to Gaynor for the Albury Tigers, and they get themselves into attack with a beautiful kick to Jacob Coleman on the lead, who marks 35 metres out on a slight angle, Freaky.
Yeah, he certainly does. Some really good play there from the Albury Tigers. Obviously, Jake Gaynor and Elliot Powell involved in the middle of the ground there, and a really strong lead and a strong mark as well by Jacob Conlon, looking to put his second through of the day. 2 inside 50s only for the Albury Tigers and potentially 2 goals to start this game.
Ball was on the line for 15 seconds before it got to the hands of Jacob Conlon. Kicks on goal, and he's just missed to the near side for a minor score. So scores are level at 1 goal, 1 behind apiece, thanks to Steelline. And for the Newmarket Hotel, we'll go boundary side to Kylie King.
Yeah, Isaac Muller looks like he might have had a dislocated finger potentially. They were yanking at it pretty hard, so he's getting some strapping on it at the moment. Anthony Miles seems to be rubbing his right jaw, so perhaps a head knock there.
Good on you, Kylie. Great info. Thanks to the Newmarket. Down on the boundary is Kylie this afternoon. Here's Kelly inside the centre square and sends it out wide to Grills. Jimmy with the ball and then sends it down the line with a 35-metre kick, trying to find Bice just on top of his head. Greenhill after him now. Coming in was Reece King and got it on the boot and sent it forward. And then Spatiri getting back and taking a nice mark.
What's he doing down there, Lukey?
He's been handy, Gussie, hasn't he?
He's a long way from goal.
He is. He's getting his hands on the footy, though.
He's lost.
The Wodonga Bulldogs across half-back. Andrews, handballs over the top. In fact, it was Deneen. Onto the run of Wortman. Now it's Jewell, wrapped up in a big tackle by Hillary. And that's clever from Sam. Jewell absorbed the pressure and will ball the footy up in front of our broadcast position.
Yeah, really good play there from the Dogs just to get it out. But as you said, they're probably just not quite the right option there from Dan Wortman to go to the big fella. Maybe long down the line, but Sam Jewell probably a little bit out of position there. Should have been further down the line for that kick.
Muller's back on the ground for the Tigers, and he won the tap to Hillary. Inside attack go the Tigers. Bit of a contest forms. Jesse Wilson's there. So is McGrath in towards the space of Kelly. And the Tigers are playing slick footy. McGrath sells a bit of candy, finds his right. Kick was smothered, but he regathered McGrath. And he put it on the boot to the top of the goal square. Pinballs around. Riley Bias is dangerous. Conlon applies a big tackle. And the Dogs survive an early scare from the Tigers. Will ball it up 10 metres out from Tigers' goal.
6 disposals already for Elliot Powell on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, Gus McLeod calling beautifully for McRae Motors. Contest here. Hume Street end in the pocket. Soroczynski handballs off to Mimo. And then Mimo tried to squeeze one to Kitching. Front on contact from Jake Gaynor. And the free kick's going to go to Kitching. The umpire says, good umpiring. So here goes Harry. He's going to go for lateral kick here. Out towards our broadcast spot. Down Wortman. Back in the team this week. Short to Jorgensen. Just the required distance. And then Miss Noah Bradshaw with the kick. Hillary came in. Good contest. Jake Gaynor, Yelland. Ball came out the back. Hillary goes in. And the umpire is going to call for it. So left of centre wing here, opening term. We're going 8.5 on the A.T. Jones time clock. 7-all. Gussie on the steel line scoreboard.
A-grade oils and batteries. First quarter action coming your way here on O&M Live. It's Yelland who gets a handball out wide to Wilson for Wodonga Bulldogs. Now it's Soroczynski. True centre wing broadcast side. The kick went about 2 metres. Gets it back to Greenhill. Now it's Wortman across half back. Wants to open up the corridor and Liam Andrews marks at centre half back for the maroon and white. Second game back in the senior side for Andrews as he switches now and he finds the co-captain Greenhill. They've got some space and they want to use the man who's playing his third senior game, Ainsworth. He looks a young, promising star for the Dogs. Comes inboard and he finds Mayfield with a right foot kick to Soroczynski. They're cutting the Tigers apart here, the Dogs. Now the kick inside 50 to Wilding. Is superb from Soroczynski. Lace out on a silver platter to Oscar.
Just really good controlled play there by the Dogs. Just really moved at their own pace there. Just chipped it across the half-back line between Andrews and Greenhill the like, and then went up the ground a little bit more. And just beautiful delivery there by Soroczynski into Oscar Wilding as well, lining up for his second shot at goal, potentially looking for his second goal of the day already.
You'll kick 51 metres at the Botanic Garden end. He arcs around Oscar. Right foot kick looks okay. It's holding its line and it's through. Sunjan goal today from Oscar Wilding. He's got 2. And all of a sudden, the Wodonga Bulldogs find themselves in front.
5 inside 50s on the 40-wing stat sheet to 4 in favour of the Wodonga Bulldogs already in this game. They've been able to take good advantage of it. A couple of marks inside forward 52 for the Dogs. If we have a look at the possession stats early in this game, 3 disposals each for Adam Jorgensen and Matt Soroczynski, a couple of disposals for Josh Mathy, but Elliot Powell's had the 6 touches already for the Albury Tigers on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Yeah, Oscar Wilding off to an absolute flyer. 2 goals in the opening term. And how was the delivery, as Brad Freak said, from Soroczynski going in. Muller out of the ruck and then try to get on the second chance. Here's Jewell trying to burn through. Powell had him. Great contest. Tied up. And the umpire's going to call for it. Round 17 of 18 in the Ovens and Murray. Just a fortnight away the finals. 14 days. Hard to believe now. Baker's down. He's in trouble, Freaky.
Yeah, he certainly is. I didn't quite see what happened out there. Obviously, might have been a clash of heads or something like that. He's a bit slow to get to. He's definitely slow to get to his feet. He copped that big knock last week too, as well. But that was probably more a big cop knee to the ribs or something like that. More a winding type injury rather than this. He's going to stay out there by the looks of things. So I think he must be okay, which is good for the Dogs.
Exactly, Freaky. Yeah. So the runner did go out, but Baker slowly got up and he's playing on. Good on him. Here's Soroczynski. He's getting his hands on the footy and then came out to just outside the arc of the 50. Going in was Beattie. Ends up with Max Burney and he having a great year. To Spencer Jones, then on to Mick Duncan. They want to come across half-back. Anthony Miles here has got the footy for the Tigers back on the ground and then goes to the half-forward line. Jacob Conlon comes out and meets it and the Tigers are on the march.
Too far from home for Conlon, so he kicks in the pocket. Kelly's the target. Just lands in the field of play and Big Ben Can't quite keep that one in. Just had a look on the Bingley replay, Jensen. Angus Baker got his head sandwiched between two Albury Tigers in the contest. And trainer for the Albury Tigers, Paddy Stowe, coming off saying he might have a bit of a cut lip.
Okay, good pick-up. Gussie, fantastic.
So boundary throw-in, back into play. Grills, handballs inboard to Miles. He evaded the pressure that came from Spiteri. Now it's on to Gaynor. Kick was smothered off the boot. Jewell left it behind. Falls the way of Isaac Malla. Back to Powell, who's racking up the 40 wings disposals and hitting high to Hennessy with silver service delivery. And Colby will have a set shot 40 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, beautifully called there, Gussie. It was just really good delivery by Elliot Power there. He's really quick thinker and just a quick mover out on the ground. They're able to find a little pocket of space and being able to just kick it into Colby Heiner Hennessy. Lines up from about 35 metres out, probably directly in front for this one. It'd be a much needed goal for the Albury Tigers to get scores level again.
Colby Heiner Hennessy, 30 metres out directly in front. Kicks on goal. It's just going to sneak in. Colby's got his first, the Tigers have two, and it's 13 apiece on the steel line scoreboard. The Albury Tigers respond.
Yeah, beautiful work there from the Tigers. Obviously, really good pressure as well from the Dogs, the cause to smother, but yeah, just a little bit of touch of class there from Ellie Power to be able to find his target. And obviously, as Luke touched on in that, and you guys have touched on in that play there, Anthony Miles is back out on the field, which is really good stuff for the Dogs. Obviously, took that really big knock at the very first centre bounce of the day, but it's good to see him back out there.
Great start of this footy game. 2 each to both the Tigers and the Wodonga Bulldogs. Locked up at 13 apiece. On the steel line scoreboard opening term of the sports ground, Miles tears out of the middle. Advantage was paid. Gets a low ball entry in. The mark is taken back there by Deneen. Moves it back to Andrews, who played well last week down in Wang. Great delivery to Matt Wilson. Speaking of playing well, best on ground at WJ Finlay last week versus the Rovers. Then chips it to centre wing. Muller over the top. Intercepts for the Tigers. So what have they got forward here? Now, Wodonga's got back and stacked them up pretty well. Max Byrne, just a great player, this young guy. And then Spears one, just inside the 50. Oh, coming over the back, Liam Andrews, the big fist. Ball rolls out of bounds. And we'll have a boundary throw in. Back to you, Kylie, for the Newmarket. What's news down there?
Oh, look, Interchange's a bit busy at the moment, as you'd expect, because they've been hard and fast, both teams at the ball, and I think you'd have to say that intensity has been very consistent. Last time Wodonga played Albury really got a run on them, and Wodonga were left trying to catch up.
14 and a half minutes gone for Maccas. Jewell wrapped up in a big Wilson tackle as we go to Brad Freak for 40 wings.
Yes, 8 inside 50s to 5 in favour of the Albury Tigers in this first quarter. Haven't been able to kick away on the scoreboard yet.
Jewell's in the ruck, won the tap for the Bulldogs. At ground level, it's Jorgensen. Back to Matey, who just kicks and tries to buy some yardage. High up and under, but sitting under the hole is Lucas Conlon, who's going to inject the Albury Tigers into attack. Opening up the fat side, Riley Bice at the back of the pack, and that's who gets it. Riley Bice, but the umpire's called him to play on, said it was touched. The Bulldogs pounce and will ball the footy up 30 metres out from Tigers' goal. A little bit lucky there, the Bulldogs. They got caught napping for mine. And we'll ball the footy up deep into attack for the Albury Tigers.
Very similar to the Oscar Wilding marking contest at the other end of the ground, but a bit unlucky there, I think, the Tigers.
Yeah, inside 50 to Hume Street, and Muller swings around, quickly gets it on the boot to the top of the goal square. Big fist away by Deneen. Ball rolling along the ground. Jacob Conlon got it out to Jesse Wilson. Bice left foot, snap on goal. Oh, gee, sitting back on the last line of defence was Sam Jewell, and just there in the nick of time. In fact, it's Matt Wilson, Freaky.
Yeah, certainly. He's coming up for his 5th disposal as well, Matt Wilson, on the 40-wing stat sheet, just picking up where he left off from last week.
And goes to the back pocket. Now, Venturoni's been given a 50 here. He sort of milked that because he balked to go, and Colby Heiner Hennessy just sort of encroached over the mark, Freaky.
Yeah, he did. It did look like he did move around the mark, but obviously the umpire hadn't called play on yet. A bit unlucky there, I think, Colby.
So our man, 3 Wheels Reese, goes out wide. Wortman, little chip kick. It's a good one. He finds Mimo. True centre wing out of side for the Dogs. They're playing methodical football here, Wodonga. Little chip kick over the top from Yelland. Wasn't great. Anthony Miles tracks for the Tigers. Evades the Matey pressure onto Hodgson. Inboard to Bice, and Miles is poleaxed in a big wielding tackle, but he's being done for a push in the back. It's going to go the way of the Albury Tigers coach.
Yeah, just really good defensive pressure there by Oscar Wilding, but probably just a little bit overzealous with the kick there. Tackle.
Jake Page is away here on centre wing on the clubroom side and sends it down towards the flank. Good pack of players. Wilson tried to spin out of trouble. Is he holding the ball? Yes, he is. The umpire's going to play it the way of the Wodonga Bulldogs. And Mitch Deneen comes back to Wortman. They're inside defensive 50. They're going to switch play here to the broadcast side. Just gets to Wilson in time. Now, what's he got on here? Players are going to have to move for him. Noel Spiteri might have to be the man here. Wilson's going to ignore him. He goes back the other way with Morrison now. Then on to Soroczynski. So they're back around the clubroom side here. Wortman got front on contact from Colby Heine-Hennessy. Kylie King, Brad Freak, Gus McLeod and Luke Francis at the sports ground for 14.94 2AY and O&M Live. Super clash this, a great opening term so far.
For A-grade oils and batteries, balls with Wortman. The Albury Tigers are applying a fantastic zonal front here as Wodonga switch to their best user. It's Angus Baker, but he's in the back pocket. Opens up the corridor dangerously. Matthew's going to have to work. Kicks in a hit and hope out towards the broadcast wing. Falls nicely for Spiteri. Overlap to Ainsworth. The Dogs are out as they kick inside 50. Well-weighted kick to a 2-on-1 and Jewel is going to get a free kick for a push in the back. Yellen plays on to Cassidy, and Cassidy marks tied up in the pocket. 35 metres out in front of the digital scoreboard, and a player like Jet Freaky, you'll back him in from here.
Yeah, absolutely you will, Gussie. I think he's really dominating. Probably one of the more promising younger forwards we've got in the competition. I really like what he brings to the team. He's just got some really good smarts there, but really good contest by Sam Julia. A free kick was paid from the back, but I think it was over the shoulder as well, so a couple of different options there, but just really smart play by the Dogs there to keep speed on the ball, and you'd back someone in of Jet's class to get this one in for the Dogs.
The Tigers will be disappointed out, a 2-on-1. Here's Cassidy. It's a measured approach. He chips it beautifully through the big sticks for a Sunjan goal today. The Bulldogs extend the lead to 3-1. And they hold a 6-point lead on the Steel Line scoreboard.
Aubrey almost did enough in that back half there in that lead-up play. The Dogs just chipping it across one defensive pocket to the other. You thought they might almost stuff it up, but a quick kick forward from Josh Mathy just to basically just get it out of the area, Lukey, and just get some speed on the ball. Really nice play here from Noel Spiteri to out on the wing to get a handball off and down to Sam Jewell, and it's led up to that goal for the Dogs.
Yeah, if you tuned into the post-game last week at Wang Fricky, you'll remember that Jordan Taylor described Jet Cassidy as a hidden freak. That's what he labelled him. Now Noel Bradshaw out of the middle, goes to Baker. They got the advantage paid out of the centre there for a free kick. Bouncing ball went beyond Jet Cassidy. And Gilmore got it out to Powell. They come to centre wing, or just left of it, to Grills. Angles back into Miles, wants to play on, good footy, and then sends it inside 50. Look at that for delivery to Elliot Powell. That was wonderful.
Absolutely beautiful play there by Anthony Miles. He could see that he was going to get the contest as well from the Wodonga player, took it and then just kept going as well, burst through and basically just told Elliot Powell where to lead there, just kicked it into a space in front of him and said, come and get it, mate, which he did. And usually a pretty good set shot as well, Elliot Powell. You'd have to back him in from here.
Yeah, so it was unthanked coming out of the back line initially. Here's Elliot Powell, the Hume Street end, looking for the Tigers' third. He looks like he shifted that one left.
Freaky.
Mightn't make the distance through for one
Freaky.
behind.
That's all freaky. We can't be doing that, Lukey.
Oh, freaky.
He's done it, Robbie.
19 plays 14 on the... What do we got? Steel Line scoreboard. A.T. Jones' time clock has gone 20 minutes, Gussie, first term.
Blood's thicker than water, Gussie.
Ball's in the hands of Venturoni for the Dogs, who's going to kick long down the broadcast side wing. Well done by Yellen. Made a contest in front of Muller, and Muller's going to be so lucky to win that free kick. Now it's unthanked. Kicks the Tigers into attack. Too much for Heine-Hennessy, and enough for Charlie Morrison. He plays on now, Soroczynski. Gets the kick away and puts it to a foot race. Cassidy's going to have to be clean. Well done, Max Byrne. Won the one-on-one battle. Now he finds his right boot with an interesting kick towards Duncan. Jorgensen wins out for the Bulldogs. Kicks inside 50 to Wilding. He had Spiteri streaming into the open goal square, but Oscar's going to go back and have a set shot.
Yeah, as you touched on there, Gus, he did have Noel Spiteri run into an open goal there, but he obviously really good play there by Max Byrne on the mark. Manned it well, didn't allow him to do it, but we've seen Oscar already kick a goal from a similar range on this other side of the 50. Let's see if he can do it from the other side as well.
Wilding for 3 goals in a quarter, and to extend the lead to 11 points for the Dogs. It's a big kick of the footy but it's across the face for a minor score. The Bulldogs lead 3-2-20 to the Tigers 2-2-14. Steel line scoreboard at the 21-minute mark.
Yeah, Oscar Wilding, he can get onto them, Gussie. He can certainly launch them. Here's Unthank. Defensive 50 for the Tigers. Out wide to Colby Heiner Hennessy. Then up the line to Max Byrne. Tigers moving it quickly. Club room side. Let's see what Max does. 25 down the line to Page. Who's got it now? Jacob Page. Now, what's he got moving for him? Bice is inside 50. Here goes Jacob Conlon on the lead now. He's going to go shorter. He wouldn't have reached Jacob Conlon. That would have been a massive kick. Muller. And then ball at ground level. Reece King is there. Muller's there. Deneen's right with him. And the umpire is going to have it. Yep. So round 17 of 18, hey? Second last. Hard to believe. It's gone so quickly. Muller down to Miles. Roved it beautifully. Got rid of Mimo. Matthew's got him, though, wrapped up in a tackle. And the umpire says holding the ball. So he took the first one on. So a good decision in the end. Matthew's going to get it on the half-back flank for the Bulldogs.
On the 40-wing stat sheet, Josh Matthew up to the 5 disposals, as we do see a 50-metre penalty there against the Albury Tigers. 6 disposals for Matt Wilson, but Elliot Power is up to the 9 disposals for the Albury Tigers on the 40-wing stat sheet.
It's the Bulldogs by 6 points here on O&M Live. Possession is with the Bulldogs and Josh Matthew, who kicks them into attack. Narrow, shallow entry. Wilson with courage. Made a contest. Duncan now for the Tigers is ragdolled. The umpire said it was legal and will ball the footy up 50 metres out from Wodonga's goal. 23 minutes gone on the A.T. Jones time clock. And Luke Francis, for our good friends at McRae Motors, bring it home.
Good on you, Gussie. Now, Grills, high ball coming out of the back line of the Tigers. Up high, good Mark Andrews. He's making a statement in this team is Liam to Spiteri. Now he's on centre wing, broadcast side. Oh, a bit of air in that one, a little bit too tall for Noah Bradshaw. Jacob Page picks it up to Miles, back to Page. Page has got to go again to mop up to Reece King. Kitching's got him, comes back this side to Miles. Anthony plays on, nice hand pass, act about to Duncan. Then goes on to Gilmore. Gee, that was good footy from the Tigers. They're under a heap of pressure. Conlon may have just got just a little infringed. Unlucky for Morrison, I thought, Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly was there, but probably a little bit of a push there from Charlie Morrison.
And the ball has gone out of bounds. Now, Freaky, you tell me about these lollies. These have been in your bag for a while, haven't they, these sour ones? What's the story here?
I bought them a few weeks ago, but Gussie keeps bringing the lollies each week, so I haven't had to bust them out yet, but I thought I'd get them out. And you like the Sour Patch Kids? So
yeah, I don't know if I know them that sour, though, Freaky. They've been in your bag for a bit, but you are right. You're exactly right.
You think it's a fizzer, but it's only 6 points. We're talking about lollies 24 minutes in. Wilson gets it back to Miles for the Tigers, who set sail to the top of the goal square. Muller's the target. Falls too close for him. King to Page. That handball was sloppy. Jorgensen's on the last line of defence for the Tigers. Now it's Conlon working his way around in a bit of space, and Bice throws it on the boot, but just can't quite get the accuracy across the face for a minor score. The Tigers 2-3-15. The Dogs 3-2-20 on the steel line scoreboard. And Sorochinsky will kick in from full back.
He does, and he goes to Matey. You've got the fresh ones, Gussie, haven't you?
I don't want the mailman. I just keep delivering.
That's it. The Allens ones, and then
certainly in the lolly department.
Greenhill off to Morrison. Back out to Andrews. 20 plays 15 here. The Bulldogs up by 5 opening term. We've gone 25 A.T. Jones time clock, so close to the first break. It's with Sorochinsky now. In the long sleeves today, as he usually wears. Wants to go to Baker. Nice kick, that's all right. Now this is the one. He wants to angle back towards the middle. Oh, good mark, Kitching. In front of Grills. Now he comes to the broadcast side. Left for Jorgensen. Tries to get Matey, misses him. Now Kitching's got to go again. Power came from the opposite direction. And it's caught over the shoulder. And as you've heard, there's the siren to bring the first turn. Now Josh Matey, is he down on the deck there, Gussie?
Yeah, he is. And the Bulldogs are happy
now.
to remonstrate with Powell, who they thought got Kitching a little bit late. If you can recall the last time these two sides met, Harry Kitching legged Elliot Powell, and it caused a massive fracas the last time these two sides met him. Wodonga Bulldogs, a few of the big boys are a little bit late getting to the party in this dust-up.
Yeah.
It's a bit of argy-bargy, nothing too much.
Yeah, so either team taking a backward step here, both coming in to remonstrate. This will probably fizz out now, hopefully.
But like I said, Lukey, if you cast your eyes back to last time these two sides met, Elliot Powell and Harry Kitching. They do not get along.
There's history there.
There's a bit of history between those two sides as the fracas comes to a hold, and at quarter time, it's the Bulldogs leading 3-2-20 to the Albury Tigers 2-3-15 on the Steel Line scoreboard. Plenty more to come and a big second quarter on O&M Live where you won't miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTafe.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
On the C&V Truck and Bus scoreboard. My name's Gus McLeod, joined by Luke Francis, Kylie King and Brad Freak, who's got your local Optus stores Quarters best. Optus in Albury, Wodonga and Wangaratta.
Yeah, in that first quarter, the Optus quarter's best for the Albury Tigers. I had Elliot Powell. I thought he was everywhere. Actually started at the first bounce of that game was at full forward. Ended up getting the 9 disposals in that first quarter and kicking a goal as well. I thought he was... Sorry, no, he didn't kick a goal. I've got him down to a goal, but he kicked a point in that first quarter. That shows how well I'm going. For the Wodonga Bulldogs, I thought Sorochinski off the half-back line, I thought he was really strong. And Oscar Wilding up in the forward half of the Dogs, kicking a couple of goals. I thought he was really, really strong as well. If we have a look at the 40 Wing stat sheet, 11 inside 50s to 9 in favour of the Albury Tigers, but they trail by 5 points here at quarter time. They had the same amount of scoring shots, both teams, which is 5, but the Dogs just taking a little bit more advantage of that. If we have a look at the possession getters, obviously, as we touched on, Elliot Powell had the 9. Anthony Miles, who took that big knock early, ended with the 8 disposals in that first quarter. And for the Wodonga Bulldogs, 7 for Josh Mathy and Matt Sorochinski, 6 for Matt Wilson, and 5 for Adam Jorgensen.
We'll cross boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel. Kylie King, you're with Jordan Taylor at quarter time.
Yeah, he was a pretty happy man. A great start. We're definitely in the battle with the best team in the comp, as he described it. He said the pressure is good. We've really got to make sure that they can't play on. We've got to force them to back off their mark. And you saw a little bit of that, I think, last few minutes of that first quarter, that Tigers didn't get that flow on because they were able to apply their pressure. So a very happy coach at this stage of the game.
Kylie King, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel, doing a fantastic job. Kylie, how are the hand warmers down there? Do you need to top up yet?
No, still got a bit of life, a few more hours left in him. Just give him a good shake and I'll be good.
The second quarter's underway for Wodonga Pumps and Mowers with Luke Francis on O&M Live.
A nice contest at the sports ground between the Doggies and the Tigers. Second term, Jake Gaynor weaving through traffic, did nicely and then put it on the right foot boot. Look at that for delivery. Jacob Conlon went through his mitts. Greels picks it up, left foot into Powell. Good mitts. In the forward pocket, Brad Freak.
Yeah, just beautiful delivery there from Jim Grills, and just a really, really nice strong mark as well from Elliot Powell as well. Obviously not a tall fella, but a really nice overhead mark there on a really fast lead as well. So good mark for him, and this would be a great start from the Albury Tigers. He's deep in that pocket there, probably a similar position that Jet Cassidy kicked his goal in the first quarter, maybe a little bit further out, so take a good effort from here to put it through.
Kicked one from this exact spot in the TDFL finals last year.
Good footballer. Here he comes, Elliot. Just wanted to improve the angle a little, and this one's going to get knocked across the line for one behind. So there's the first score of a second term. So 20 plays, 16 on the CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. A.T. Jones' time clock has gone 60 seconds, Gussie.
Andrews from fullback to the netball side. Pocket, I tell you what, that netball court side, that's going to really amplified as the day goes on. Ladies' Day on the hill today.
That's it.
Andrews at fullback, inboard. It's a nice kick towards Bradshaw. He marks between fullback and centre half-back. Botanic Gardens end of the Albury Sports Ground. To the co-captain in Greenhill, and they're playing beautiful football here, the Bulldogs, hitting a lot of targets in a methodical manner. It's Adam Jorgensen on the defensive arc of 50. Right foot kick into space, trying to find Jewel. Good work from Gilmore, got a fist. Bice is there for the Tigers, taps it in the Miles direction. Not on the same wavelength was Elliot Powell, but he can gather, trying to keep it alive at the umpire, the boundary umpire.
I thought that was in.
He was about 40 metres away. I reckon he might have sold Powell up the river there a little bit. We'll ball the footy back into play, 60 metres out in front of the old grandstand here at the Albury Sports Ground. We've played bang on 2 minutes for A.T. Jones, and the Bulldogs lead by 4 points for CMV Truck and Bus.
Arc of the 50, Botanic Garden end. Muller just hacked it out of the air, straight on the boot. Now Wilson goes in. Ball comes the other side of the pack. Let's have a look. And that looked like Jake Page. It was. Got it on the boot quickly down towards the goal square. Morrison flew. Ball has come out the back to Wilson. And this one's with Spiteri, deep in the back line. And then didn't get it on the left foot. Tried the right foot, and it's been turned over. Now, there's been a whistle here. What's going on, Freaky?
Yeah, Jacob Conlon and I think
Jesse
it was
Wilson.
just had a big collision. Jacob Conlon looks like he's got blood coming from his face. Looks like he knows.
Correct,
I'm going to assume. Had a really big collision in the last passage of play when the ball was quick forward. They just ran into each other. I didn't look like there was any head knocks, but they obviously could have hit shoulder to shoulder or something's. Obviously, Jacob's hit his head on something to be able to get a blood nose.
Okay, good pick up. Harry Cameron's got it in the meantime. Lobs it into the 50. Good mark. Uncontested was Deneen, and Deneen wants to move it to the broadcast side back pocket, and Morrison's got it.
Morrison wants to come in board to Mathy. And I really like the Bulldogs when they start their plays with users like Morrison, Liam Andrews and so forth. Another whistle here for blood.
Another blood rule. Not
sure who he's trying to pin here. umpired. I think it looks like Jason Rain down there.
Yeah, no one's owning up to it.
There's no one going off the ground. I'm a little bit confused as to what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
No,
anyway.
The umpire in this sense telling him to play on, so...
So after all that, nothing is going to happen, and Josh Matthey's going to get a 40 winks disposal, kick to full back, and he's got Morrison, the co-captain, on the last line of defence. A 1-2 with Matthey. His numbers, please, Bradley, for 40 winks.
He's just had his 9th disposal of the day.
It's a good-looking kick to Cassidy, but it just had too much pepper on it for him. Byrne, a young Tigers gun. Inboard now to Gaynor. Kicks to the hot spot for the Albury Tigers and flying up. Really good mark. Liam Andrews playing a brilliant game of football is Liam. In fact, it might be Venturoni, in fact. It is. Of course, both cementing a spot in the senior lineup as Matthey kicks long down the line. Yellen's the target. Gaynor, smallest bloke on the ground, got over the top of the contest. Byrne, big tackle applied, will ball the footy up, true centre wing broadcast side.
5 inside 50s already in this second quarter for the Albury Tigers. None to the Wodonga Bulldogs so far, but just haven't been able to get a goal or only hit the scoreboard once so far. Really good defending down there by the Dogs.
Yeah, 4-point lead to the Doggies. We've gone 4.5 second term here. A.T. Jones time clock. Gaynor to Grills. Hits him, so he's about 80 from home, Jimmy. Kicking towards the Botanic Garden end. Drills it inside 50 whistle. Holding. And this one, Reece King's played on with it anyway. Goes down towards the goal square over the back. That might be out in the full, it is. Umpire calls it. Dogs will get it. Back pocket here. Far side, Gus, here, the Botanic Garden end here.
So Wodonga play on quickly. Matt Wilson, of course, best on ground last week for the Bulldogs in their win over the Rovers. Now it's with Andrews, the left footer. He goes backwards to go forwards. The Dogs want to open up the fat side. Morrison marks tight up on the boundary line. The Bulldogs hold a 4-point lead. The kick long down the line's good. Venturoni in a one-on-one contest with Grills. Give it to Jimmy, the Albury Tigers co-captain. Links up now with Riley Bice in a 1-2 with Gaynor. Now Miles marks on the edge of the square. Wants to play on. Open up the fat side of the ground. It's a great kick to Hodgson. And he's probably just out of range here, Bryden. 60 metres. He starts his approach. Wants to kick into the pocket. Beautiful kick to Powell. He's resting as a deep forward, and Elliott is certainly in range here, but he wants to improve the angle. And Cole behind a Hennessy marks 45, maybe slightly further out, slight angle for the Albury Tigers.
Looks like Reece Venturoni is going to come from the ground for the Wodonga Bulldogs in a previous marking contest. Hit the ground quite heavily. He's coming off under his own accord there, so hopefully he'll be all good. But really good play there from the Albury Tigers, just really hemmed in the Dogs. It's probably the one aspect of the game with the Dogs with that chipping, more deliberate style. If they can't get quick ball movement on it, they might be able to turn it over as they had this time, and Tigers having a shot.
Here's Colby to the Botanic Garden end. Beautiful kick of the footy. Does it have the legs? I reckon the goal umpire likes it. So does Colby. Brilliant goal from the Albury Tigers. He's got his second. And Albury hit the front by 2 points for C&V Truck and Bus.
Yeah, really good goal there by Cole behind Hennessy. Probably poor marking in that back half there from the Dogs, just to allow a couple of easier kicks inside forward 50. Obviously, Hodgson into Powell, and then Powell to be able to find Heiner Hennessy in a much easier angle there as well. So just a little bit of a lapse in concentration there. We've had 8 inside 50s to none in the first 5 minutes or so of this second quarter in favour of the Albury Tigers. They've had full control of the game so far.
How is it down on ground level, Kylie? Rain was predicted in 12 degrees, but not raining at the moment, which is good.
No, but still very, very, very cold down here. So, yeah. Venturoni, I can say he only sat down briefly, so he looks like he's back up and on the interchange and ready to get back out there after that heavy knock.
Kylie for the new marker. Kelly put the ball down in the pocket for the Tigers. Matthey's got him tied up. The umpire is going to have it.
He's going to pay a free kick here, I think, Luke.
Is he? Yeah, he is.
He's going to pay the mark to Ben Kelly.
He plays on quickly to Bice. Bice, left foot. Make contact with the wrong side of the ball. Spiteri just went through his fingers and out in front of Grills in the pocket at the Botanic Garden end.
Around the grounds for Binglee, Yarrawonga lead 52-19. Wangaratta 44-6 over the Alpine Saints, and Lavington 37-21 over the Wodonga Raiders. Ironically, they've kicked 6 goals, won Lavington.
6-1.
Where was that 10 weeks ago?
You sure haven't got the columns around the wrong way, Gussie. It's like upside down, isn't it? No, good on the... Had to come at some stage. Wortman, defensive 50 arc for the Doggies here. They trail by 2 points. We have gone 8.5 on the A.T. Jones time clock. Second term at the sports ground. It's Kylie King, Brad Freak, Gus McLeod and Luke Francis with you on O&M Live.
And a poor kick going backwards into defence there from Mimo. It's forced Charlie Morrison to spill the ball out of bounds, Brad.
Yeah, it certainly has. The defensive structure of the Tigers is really on the game at the moment. They've been able to hold the Dogs in it every time they're trying to chip around in that back half.
Boundary throw in deep into attack for the Albury Tigers. It'll have to be redone. In fact, we're going to get a free kick here for a hold. It's going to go the way of the Albury Tigers, and the recipient is Isaac Muller for a ruck infringement against Bailey Griffith.
Yeah, it looked like they were wrestling there at the ruck contest there. I thought actually the whistle, Gussie, the boundary throwing didn't look like coming too far. I thought that's what it was going to be for, so I was watching the fly of the ball. I didn't quite see it. All I saw was the two boys wrestling, so I didn't quite see what might have been the free kick there.
Not known for his goal-kicking big is. We'll have a set shot from a staggered approach. Right foot kicks a beauty. Muller's on the board, and the Tigers extend the lead to 8 points for CMV Truck and Bus. Boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel.
Just to note that Jacob Conlon has stemmed the flow from his mouth. He's all good and back on.
Fantastic from Kylie, boundary side of the Newie. Brad Freak for 40 wings on the 40 wing stat sheet.
Yeah, good for the Tigers to get a couple of goals in a row here. They've had the 9 inside 50s to none in this second term, and they really needed to get that onto the scoreboard a little bit. You don't want to be having so much ball going in your forward 50 and not being able to translate it into scores. So it was good for them to finally hit the scoreboard and get the last couple of goals in this game.
Yeah, so the Tigers out to an 8-point lead. What a time of year, hey? Footy finals right on our doorstep. Here's Wilson inside 50 with the long high ball. This might be another one. Jesse, a rare one for him, but when he kicks them, there's Sunjan goals of the day. He doesn't muck around. That is a beauty from Jesse in the headband. Freaky, what a super kick.
Yeah, beautiful kick there from Jesse Wilson. Obviously something that the Albury Tigers are looking at. As Gussie said, he played forward last week. I think he said 4 goals in the forward half for the Tigers last week. So just a new role for him at the moment inside the Albury Tigers team. It was just a really good play. They kept the ball moving. Obviously a free kick against Angus Baker in the middle of the ground there to hold on Jake Page and just kept the ball flowing on from there.
3 goals to start the second term for the yellow and black, and we're in the centre with Elliot Powell breaking away from the contest. Got the handball in the nick of time. Matey got taken high. The umpire found it and is going to pay a free kick to Wodonga. Elliot Powell not overly thrilled with that decision from the umpire. And it could be a 50 here. I reckon it should be. That ball going back to Josh Matey was pretty ordinary. Matey just behind true centre for the Dogs. Umpire's going to call into play on now. He kicks the centre half forward. Great vision. Bailey Griffiths broke away from the heavy attention of Isaac Muller. And fresh in from a Europe trip, Bailey Griffiths handballs on to Andrews. The Tigers saw it coming. Harry Cameron gathers the footy for Albury, switches the ball out to the club room side of the ground. It's Spencer Jones on hand to Bice. Bice takes a bounce to left footer, goes with his number of third over the top to King. King marks slightly into attack, looks nicely and finds McGrath. 75 from home is Charlie. Right foot kick. High up and under. Kelly's the target. Big mitts from Kelly. Had too much height for Reece Venturoni. And the Tigers turn an attacking shot on goal into an attacking play. Brilliant work from Albury.
I think Bailey Griffiths' idea back at this defensive 50 was probably the right idea, but just had to wait for the Albury players to clear out of the space a little bit. Really good smother, but really good play there from the Albury Tigers to get the ball out in space by Harry Cameron and then use the width of the ground and set up a good mark for Ben Kelly and a nice shot of goal.
So Ben Kelly to extend the margin to 20 points for the Tigers. His right foot kick is to the near side for a minor score. 5-5-35 Albury. The Dogs 3-2-20. The CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. We've played 12 and a half minutes for A.T. Jones.
He didn't like that as soon as he kicked.
No, his head came away to the side, didn't it?
So as soon as he kicked it, he was, I reckon he turned around. It's like when you get a good ball in cricket, you know you're out. You just, head off, bat under your arm, and away you go.
Yeah, you're absolutely spot on, Freaky. Helicopter kick from the fullback position from the Dogs. Duncan got spun around and tackled, and the umpire's going to call for it. So just left of a centre here at the sports ground. Tigers and Doggies. Second term, Muller, Miles. Little one over the top to Powell. Got brought down, didn't have it in the end. And the umpire's going to give him the free kick.
Guess who dumped Powell?
Kitching. Spot on. Gus McLeod, nothing wrong with your eyes. And then inside 50, King takes the mark. Reece What a player this guy's been, Freaky. He's been excellent for the Tigers.
Yeah, he just gives them something a little bit different in that forward half. His forward pressure as he plays on here, Lukey.
He does. Low ball trying to get Muller. Morrison got a foot to it. Miles just jams it up towards the top of the goal square. Going back, Sam Gill put the ball to deck. And then got taken down with it. Reese King around the body. High ball towards the line. This might be another one. It is. That's 4 in a row for the yellow and black. They're threatening to blow this game apart. Close to half-time here. They're out to a handy lead now, Freaky.
Yeah, the man that started all that ended up getting the goal anyway. Reese King there obviously tried to send in the ball, do the team thing, but good thing there about what Reese did is he actually followed up his own work and was able to get that crumb and kick a goal there. It should be... There's alarms be going off in the Wodonga Bulldogs coaching box at the moment. The Albury forward line's just allowed to get a little bit too much space. They're just being a little bit too dominant. A 12 inside 50s to 1 in this second quarter.
12 to 1?
And the only one they had was that smothered kick from Liam Andrews that went inside that went straight over to an Albury Tigers player.
21-point lead to the yellow and black here at the Albury Sports Ground. For Wodonga Pumps and Mowers, great to have your company. The Tigers via power into attack. It's cut off by the two boys in long sleeves, one of whom is Adam Jorgensen. Kicks into attack, and he's found Beattie, the late inclusion for Wodonga. Kicks inside attack, Wilding. Couldn't quite bring it to ground level. Makes a contest, and Hodgson out the back in a 1-2 with Bice. Here's Bryden. It's a well-weighted kick, and the Albury Tigers, they're out via Jones. Now Duncan, true centre wing far side.
Yeah, and he goes down towards the Reese King direction again. Good mark, just in front of Venturoni, and he wants to swing around Reese King. Gets on that left foot, just taken down as he got his kick away. Wilson, free kick going back to Reese King. Umpire saying the Bulldog held on just a little too long there, Freaky.
Yeah, it must have been held on to him a little bit too long. Reese King doesn't even realise he's got a free kick there. So Reese charged into the forward 50 and he's got to run back 30 metres to get the kick.
Normally a pretty good sign on the decision, that, Lukey.
He's one of those players, Gussie, that when he gets near at Reese King, something's going to happen. And Page takes a good mark, strong mitts in the forward pocket here for the Tigers.
Real, as you touched on there, Luke, really strong mark there from Jake Page above his head, who is doing the run with role with Angus Baker today. And I must say, boys, he's doing a great job. Baker's only had the 4 disposals in this game so far. Hasn't had a touch in the second quarter yet either, Angus Baker. So Jake Page is certainly winning that battle so far. Adjacent
to the netball courts. This would be 5 in a row. It's a tough angle. And that one's a straight up and down sort of cylinder kick. He's jammed it. Sunshine goal of the day. How's that gone through, Freaky?
I was marking that down for a point.
What's going on there, Gussie? How's that gone through? That's amazing.
I had my head down marking it behind.
Yeah.
That was a vertical talk.
Yeah, it's an ice cream cone kick.
It was a vertical talk.
Yeah,
that's the only way to describe that, and it's somehow gone in. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. They don't see those too often.
Boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel, Kylie King. What can you make of that?
Yeah, I think the ice cream inverted upside down, inside out kick is exactly right.
Game high 27-point lead to the yellow and black. CMV Truck and Bus scoreboard. They are running away with this. Wodonga must respond. They get their second inside 50 of the quarter now, albeit only shallow. Falls the way of Duncan, flicks the ball out wide for the Albury Tigers. Wodonga need to respond. Yelland lurks, well done by Jewell. On towards Baker, who's resting forward. Baker dives on the footy, now flicks it out backwards, but it's all Tigers. Duncan's there, on to Jones. In fact, it's Byrne, who kicks long down the line to Wilson.
Yeah, big fly over the top from Jesse Bull at ground level. Let's have a look here. Jake Gaynor, well done. Good ball win to Colby Heine-Hennessy off to Miles. And they get it through Cameron, who went out wide. This is Gaynor again, back to Miles. So a lot of possessions in close and then finds one, picks one out. Well done, Anthony Miles to Colby Heine-Hennessy. Now look at this. Spencer Jones is on if it reaches him. 2-on-1. Well done, Dan Wortman, coming from the opposite direction and won the free kick for his footy team. Beautiful for the maroon and white. Out to Ainsworth. He's got some room to move. Bice gets there, though, on the man on the mark. Here goes Cohen. Ainsworth, beautiful kick. Look at that. Freaky to Sam Jewell.
Just beautiful delivery there by Cohen Ainsworth.
Sam Jewell plays on. Just a little tall for Noel Spiteri. Handball to Mathy. Mathy, quick right foot. Has just missed to the opposite side. Gone through for one behind. So 47 plays 21. CMV trucking by a scoreboard. Second turn's brought to us by Wodonga Pumps and Mowers. A.T. Jones' time clock has gone 18 minutes.
So the kick out wide from the Albury Tigers is a nice one. Cameron handballs over the top to Gilmore. Right foot kick. Jorgensen got a fist in front of Jakey Gaynor. as it goes out of bounds for a boundary throw in. True centre wing out of side. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, in this second quarter, it's probably the Albury midfield's well and truly getting on top. Gainer's up 6. Anthony Miles has had 6 disposals, 4 each for Jim Grills and Riley Bice. But the Wodonga midfield needs to get back into this game. Matt Wilson's had 1 disposal, Banker 1, Jorgensen 1, Sorochinski 1. Josh Matthey's the only one for the Dogs. He's up to 6 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet in the second quarter.
Got to get Baker back around the footy for mine. He's playing a lot of forward minutes. And the Wodonga Bulldogs, they've been stunned here. 5 goals to start the second term in a row consecutively for the Albury Tigers. Wodonga need to respond after winning the first quarter. There's a free kick here. Umpires pointed both ways. I think it's going to go the way of Wodonga now, Brad.
Yeah, it is. Just muller through Bailey Griffiths to the ground in the ruck contest.
Griffiths got it on to Jorgensen, who kicks into attack beautifully to Cassidy. Silver service from Adam Jorgensen, and Jet is marked 45 metres out directly in front.
I really like Jet Cassidy, just his movement in the forward half there. But again, Adam Jorgensen with that ball delivery that we've touched on a few times, if they can get their footy in his hands on a regular basis, which they have, he's up to the 8 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet. Good things normally come from it for the Wodonga Bulldogs.
He'll have to kick this one 47 metres, Jet Cassidy. He's got to kick it 50. He's just going to sit it up to the top of the goal square. Wilding couldn't quite kick it off the ground and will ball the footy up. In fact, it spills across the line now for a minor score. Wodonga Bulldogs 3-4-22. The Tigers 7-5-47 on the CMV truck and bus. I would have loved Jet to back his ability in there, Lukey.
Yeah, it would have been good, Gussie. That would have brought it back to a 20-point margin. It's now 25 in favour of the Tigers. Here's Lucas Conlon. Back pocket. Misses Powell, or in fact went through his hands. Now ends up with Mimo. Tried to spin out of trouble. Matthew went in. This is Powell. Geez, good over the ball. Then Miles, just a quick hurried kick. Sorochinski, well done. Head over the footy. Try to get it now to BT. Coming from the opposite direction was Max Byrne. Look at them tearing in for the pill. Here's Spiteri. Jake Page at the bottom of the pack. Tries to get it up off the deck. Baker gets one out now to Noah Bradshaw. Beautiful fake. Dances around Wilson. Gets it to the outer side. Now he's got Jorgensen. If it sits for him, it does. Now let's have a look at Adam's footwork here. Straight inside. That's probably his worst kick of his life. Missed Matey by 3 metres. And Josh out to Greenhill, and they go back to Sorochinski. So they've retreated a fair bit here, Gussie, but they still have possession.
And they've got Deneen out wide. They want to use him now. He marks true centre wing broadcast side. Chip kick over the top to Yelland. Got a bit of a push on the way through from Reece King. Everyone in the defensive half for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Chip kick nicely. Venturoni. 75 from home on a 45-degree angle for the Dogs. Congested forward line of weight, so he's going to pump it in towards space. They need a flyer. Griffiths is one of them, brings it to ground level. Gainer at the bottom of the pack. Where else would you find him? Miles, well architected free kick, I should say. Dropped the knee, very clever Joel Sell would like, and Anthony Miles get the free kick. Coming in board, dangerous kick. Venturoni got a fist in front of Wilson. Falls the way now. Power for the Tigers. They're going to kick out wide. Cameron in a paddock of space. Well done by Sorochinski. Made a contest against Cole behind a Hennessy. They spill out the back. Dive on top of the footy. Gainers get running. Jorgensen hot on his heels. Gainer breaks away and hits Conlon. 30 metres out, slight angle. Take a bow. Jake Gainer, gut running at its best.
Yeah, he's absolutely been brilliant in this second quarter, Jake Gainer. He's up to the 8 disposals in the second term on the 40-wing stat sheet. 14 inside 50s to 5 with 6 marks inside forward 50 for the Albury Tigers in the second term.
Conlon, 45 metres out, tied up on the boundary. No mistake from Jacob Conlon. He just sneaks it in. Jacob Conlon is playing some game of footy. He's got his second, and the Albury Tigers extend the lead to 31 points.
Just persistence there from the Albury Tigers in their back half to be able to win the footy back. The Dogs looked like they were getting a little bit of momentum in the game, getting some repeat inside forward 50s, but just weren't able to hit the scoreboard or kick goals, I should say, where the Tigers, as soon as they got their first opportunity, able to go the length of the ground, and through that goal there from Jacob Conlon, be able to put themselves out a little bit further, up to a 31-point lead now.
Yeah, all 6 goals in this second term have been kicked by the Tigers, and they've kicked the last 6 of 8. So the Bulldogs desperately need the next one. That is an understatement. Here's Deneen out of the middle, hurriedly on the boot. Gilmore goes back. Good mark under pressure. Oh, hello. Must have been touch, was it? And the umpire is going to take it.
Really clever from Adam Jorgensen there, Lukey. Heard the touch call, opted not to compete and just wrap up Gilmore.
For sure, Gussie. Back at ground level. Off the ground by Muller, racing towards Wilson. Then into the path of Miles. This one goes on to Gaynor. Nice delivery again from Jake into Conlon. He'll be shooting at his third, Jacob. Good foot skills from Jake Gaynor, Freaky.
Yeah, absolutely. Him and Jake Gaynor and Anthony Miles brought their own footy in this second term, both up to the 9 disposals, and they just keep delivering it out to Jacob Conlon, almost a carbon copy of the last shot that they had in last passage of play there from the Albury Tigers.
So this for the Tigers' 7th in a row for Jacob's treble. Oh, Jesse Wilson on the line, plays on goal. So they get their 7th. It wasn't through Jacob Conlon. It was through Jesse, who gets his 2nd, Freaky.
Yeah, it was just probably really poor
checking on the line
there from the Dogs. There would have been 4 Wodonga players in the goal square. Jesse Wilson was probably the only player that actually flew for the footy. It almost looked like he used the padding off the point post as a launching pad for him, and took a mark for it and then just dribbled over. Just really poor marking there, I think, from the Dogs.
Wodonga have been sloppy in this second term, really lowering their colours. 59 plays 22 on the CMV truck and bus. A second quarter dominated for Wodonga pumps and mowers. Griffiths gone into the ruck, give that one to Muller. Brought it down to ground level. Wilson injected himself into this contest. Whistle. Free kick here. It's going to go the way of Jesse.
Yeah, he just went to go kick that one, Gussie, and he was just being held on to by Dan Waltman.
So he slingshots the Tigers into defence. Kelly's at the back. Brought it down to ground level for Bice to kick a Sunjan goal at A. This is like a training drill from the Albury Tigers. Wodonga look immensely sloppy, and the Albury Tigers have kicked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 unanswered goals in the second term.
Just really flexing their muscle at the moment, aren't they? It's just all their key players around the ground. They're getting involved. Obviously, Muller in the ruck. Gaynor and Miles are the 2 in this second quarter that have really got on top. Just the real class players from Albury are just getting on top. And Jake Page, who's doing the job, and Angus Baker. Baker's only had the 6 disposals in this game just before half-time.
Yeah, they're gone to another level. The Tigers, as the finals approach, they've clicked up a notch. Another gear back in the centre. Mathy, Muller, Page brought down by Baker, and the umpire will have it. Now, Kylie, we saw the lights come on in Wangaratta last week. It got quite dark after half-time. You nearly tipped them on coming on today again as well.
Yeah, you're right. It's cold and getting quite dark, as you mentioned, and it's not upsetting the Tigers, though. They're seeing it nice and clearly, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
25 minutes gone on the AT Jones time clock. Wilson burrows his way through. Umpire calls for a restart. Brad Freak, 40 winks.
Yeah, as we keep touching on, Miles and Gaynor are the 2 in this the second quarter. 9 disposals each. 7 for Josh Matey for the Wodonga Bulldogs on the 40 wink stat sheet.
Maynard. I reckon that'll stick as a little tag team between Jakey Gaynor and Miles. Umpire calls for another restart. 26 minutes gone for AT Jones. The Tigers 10-5-65. The Dogs 3-4-22. 8 unanswered goals in the second term from the Albury Tigers is what separated these two sides. Soroczynski won it down from Muller's clearance, and the kick from Soroczynski wasn't great. We'll bring the football back into play in front of Kylie King for the Newmarket Hotel. Wodonga Bulldogs look pretty flat, don't they?
Oh, look, and Jordan Taylor, what they've done is exactly what he said, just don't do. You really can't let the Tigers get that run on. You've really got to check them when they mark. You've just got to tackle and be there for it. Once you let them have that free-flowing game of footy that we know they have, they're almost unbeatable.
Let's have a look down in front of our broadcast spot. Wilson got the handball out to Mimo. Tried to avoid Unthank. Brought him down in a strong tackle. Grill sits under this. Good mark. Had to go back and bide his time and waited under it and took the footy. Approaching a long break. And just as I say it, there it is. It's half-time at the Albury Sports Ground, and the Tigers absolutely turning it on here in the second term. They lead 10-5-65 to the Wodonga Bulldogs 3-4-22. The halftime show coming up for Elders Rural. This is O&M Live, and remember, on O&M Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
Tigers lead 10-5-65 to the Bulldogs 3-4-22. Goals in that quarter, all to the Albury Tigers, 8 of them. Colby, Heiner, Hennessy, Muller, Wilson, King. Then, of course, Conlon, Wilson and Bice all teaming up and kicking a couple of big goals. Of course, a big game of netball this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. At about midday, the Albury Tigers just held on over the Wodonga Bulldogs. And to sum up the day's play for Ray White Rural, here's Tamara Matthews for the O&M Live Netball Wrap.
This is Tamara Matthews with the A-grade netball broadcast update, thanks to Ray White Rural and Livestock Albury, who have now expanded to Holbrook. And in today's game, we saw the Albury Tigers defeat the Wodonga Bulldogs 55-37. It was a tight game up until half-time before the Albury Tigers really put their foot down in the third quarter and set up a big win for them going into the last quarter. And Gabe McRae for the Albury Tigers was outstanding in centre alongside Neve Thorne in goal defence. Really led the charge for them. Whilst for the Wodonga Bulldogs, Ellie Ainsworth in the centre really battled hard against Gabe all day, and Leah Mathy in goal defence for the Wodonga Bulldogs certainly was outstanding as well. Wodonga Bulldogs, 2 wins for the season. They'll be up against it in their last game of the season next week for Yarrawonga, but certainly we'll be looking forward to next year. A fantastic year for the Bulldogs. Their B grade, their C grade, their 17s and their 15s. We'll be looking forward to some finals actions. In other games today, the Yarrawonga Pigeons, too good for the Wangaratta Rovers. Wangaratta, too good for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, and the Wodonga Raiders going down to Lavington in a tight game over at Wodonga Raiders. This has been your A-grade netball broadcast update. Thanks to Ray Wright Rural and Livestock Albury.
No worries from Tamara Matthews. A stunning A-grade netball wrap there, and a couple of big results. We'll touch on them on the drive home. But Freaky, here at the Albury Sports Ground, the Tigers dominated that second term. What did it look like on the 40-wing stats?
Yeah, they completely dominated it, as you said, on the scoreboard and on the stat sheet as well. 16 inside 50s to 5 in that second quarter alone, and 7 marks inside the forward 50 were just clinical. And some of that ball use, as we touched on, is, well, the term I accidentally made up, Gus, we might run with him, is Maynard, which was Jake Gaynor and Anthony Miles just dominated, both having 9 disposals each in that second term. Elliot Power had the 6, so did Jim Grills, and 5 to Riley Bice. And it was just the midfield from the Dogs just couldn't get any ball use whatsoever. 8 outside of Josh Mathy. Mathy had the 8 disposals, but he had no help really. Adam Jorgensen had the 5 disposals in that second quarter, all of those coming late in the term. Angus Baker's probably been the one. He's only had the 6 disposals to half-time on our stat sheet in this game. He's one that they really need to get into the game and get up and running. And Sorochinsky off the half-back line, he's added to the 11 disposals at half-time. It's as we were just touching on off air, then it's probably been, as Kylie King said just off air, it's probably game of 2 halves. They're really in 2 different quarters from just simply outclassed there with the Wodonga Bulldogs from the Albury Tigers, and really flex their muscles and show what they're all about in season 2023.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a lot of good plays of footy this year and a lot of good quarters. You'll struggle to find a better quarter of footy than what the Albury Tigers just produced, Luke.
Yeah, absolutely, Gussie. They'd be shell-shocked walking off the ground there, the Wodonga Bulldogs. They got absolutely stunned in that quarter. The Tigers just went to another level, and I think they almost surprised themselves there, the Tigers, for a minute, because it got a little bit too easy. We picked out a couple there, Freaky. As you mentioned, there was a couple of sort of uncontested sort of situations back there in the goal square where it just looked a little bit too easy. So the Dogs would be disappointed in that. Terrific last week, absolutely fantastic, but we knew they would have to find a bit extra coming here today.
Well, obviously, as you touched on there, how terrific the Dogs were last week and how terrific it is for them as a club to be able to make it to the finals for the first time in 14 years. But I think the Tigers are showing you what it takes to actually win the premiership. If you want to be move up to that next step. And we're not saying that the Dogs probably, as a whole, they're on the right trajectory to get there. Obviously, they're not there at the moment. But the Tigers just, flexed their muscle, full of class, and just showed what they were all about this year.
I thought Wodonga were comfortably the better team in the first quarter. I thought they held a 5-point lead. They looked a lot more slick going inside forward 50. I thought they looked easily the best side, but to kick 3 goals in the first quarter, 3 goals in the first quarter, and then not to add to it in any fashion. They only added the 2 behinds in a quarter of footy. How many inside 50s, Freaky, was it?
It wasn't that lopsided. It was 12-1 at one stage.
Yeah, 16-5 in favour of the Albury Tigers. So.
And I reckon at least 3 of those inside 50s would have gone no deeper to goal than 40 metres out. So they were very narrow and shallow entries.
And some of those ones which you touched on there as well was one where Bailey Griffiths handballed it off to Liam Andrews, which was smothered, went about 5 metres inside forward 50 and then came straight back out as well. I think the difference in the game was the defensive structure of the Tigers really lifted in that second term. We saw in that first quarter the Dogs being able to a couple of times be that little bit more deliberate play where they're able to chip it from one back pocket to another and back and just get their time and be able to find the right pass. And we didn't see that at all in that second term. The Tigers were just a lot more switched on in their defensive scheme and were able just to nullify any influence off that back half. You think about then looking in that second quarter, when they did try that, how many times did the Dogs few turnovers there, which I think a few of those times the Albury Tigers went the other way and put it on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I tell you, he's a guy who's having the best game I've seen him play in Tigers colours Well, for the Albury Tigers, it's Jake Gaynor.
Yeah.
I reckon he's been super around the contest, and his delivery's been fantastic.
And by Jake's standards, he was slow to start this season. I actually thought he was quite poor, to be honest, in the first half of the year. Didn't really play to the capabilities we know that he can achieve. He's a best and fairest winner. He's a former captain of the club, albeit at the age of just 24 years old. Premiership player back home at Wodonga, where, of course, he started his footballing journey. And we knew he had a lot of potential, but we needed him to take the competition by the scruff of the neck. And obviously now he's playing a different role. He's not that starting on baller. He's a hybrid. He's a small forward, wing, and also midfielder. The Albury Tigers have so many options, and now we're starting to see the best of Jake.
Yeah, and I reckon he's been super today, and you're right. Yep.
Sorry,
I was going to say, sorry, Gussie, just to cut you off there, mate. It looks like he's moving a little bit freer. And we touched on earlier about Jacob Conlon as well early in this game. He looked, we said off air, it looked like he was on for today. I wonder if some of the guys have had a bit of a niggles, have just had a little bit of a break and managed them to be up now at the right time of the year.
Yeah. Around the grounds for Bingley at the Birrelea Park, Lavington lead 8-2. Yes, you heard that correctly. Lavington have kicked 8 goals to 50 over the Raiders, 5-4-34 at half-time. Goals, 2 of them to Sean Driscoll, Tim Hanna. Singles to Clary Albers, Judd McLeod, Jack Costello and Ethan Di Pioli. Ironically, all 3 of their debutants have kicked goals in the first half, which is absolutely remarkable. Maybe that was the key. Get these kids at the start of the season.
They might be able to kick straight.
They might be able to kick straight. Whilst for the Raiders, only the one multiple goal kicker, Tommy Brasher, and of course singles to Donaghy, Indy Kotzer and Nick Brasher. Whilst on our sister station, 15-6-6-3 Yarrawonga lead over the Rovers, 13-4-82 to 5-1-31 goals in that game. 4 of them to Matt Casey, 3 to Lee Williams, 2 to Dylan Conway, and singles to Nick Fothergill, Ryan Bruce and Lockie Howe, with Jordan Urquhart also in the goal kickers as well. Wangaratta lead 13-5-83 over the Alpine Saints, 1-5-11. And here at the Albury Sports Ground, the Tigers 10-5-65, the Dogs 3-4-22, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely. If we have a Ray White Rural netball update from the A-grade scores that had finished from today, obviously, as we touched on with Tamara Matthews in the netball wrap of the game here, our broadcast game between Albury and Wodonga. Albury 55, Wodonga 37 in the other games. Wangaratta too strong for the Myrtleford Alpine Saints, 38-29 in that game. Yarrawonga far too strong for the Wangaratta Rovers, 76-35. And the Lavington Panthers defeat the Wodonga Raiders by 5 goals, 54-49 in that game. So it's really just shaping that top 5 coming into. It looks like it might nearly be set. The top 3, Gussie, looking at that coming into finals, obviously, with only 1 game to go in that competition as well. So going to be a great final series in the A-grade netball too.
Looks absolutely superb. But the Dogs still a sniff here, guys. Can they play a big quarter of footy and work their way back into it? Of course, it's only half-time, 65 plays 22. If they wake up, there's still a chance, I think.
Yeah, well, huge 10 minutes coming up in the third quarter here. Gussia's returned from for the second half. They have to have a huge 10 minutes here. If they don't kick to 3 or 4 goals in this, I reckon that might be it, Freaky.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting watch this second half. Or for the Dogs to be able to get in the game, they need to try and be able to move the ball a little bit quicker. But that also will open them up to turnovers going the other way. And if they do try to move the ball a little bit quicker with a little bit more space,
Go and chase your own footy, try and break it. The Wodonga Bulldogs can only win this game of footy if Angus Baker's the man to fire him into gear.
Yeah, no argument there. He's by far and away their best player and probably in the top 5 players in the comp. So unless he's up and about, well, they certainly can't win this game. It's going to be hard for him, though. The Tigers are all over him.
The halftime show done and dusted thanks to Elders Rural on the other side of the break. The third quarter between the Tigers and the Bulldogs on O&M Live. And on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Clear.
Ground up building.
Thank you, Amos. Ta-ta-ta.
No worries.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTAFE is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend, we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football.
Ground not too far away from the third quarter, getting underway as Brad Freak heads to the AFL around the ground. So, Bing Lee.
Yeah, 2-point lead at halftime to the Gold Coast Suns over Carlton. It was Gold Coast were up by about 20 points in that game as well, just moments ago, and they're only 2-point lead now. But at the game in the MCG between Richmond and North Melbourne, the Tigers have a 22-point lead there, 65-43, just starting the third quarter in that particular game.
Of course, Wodonga are doing what they do always at the back end of a break. They take a knee in the huddle. It's a bit of a unique thing the Wodonga Bulldogs do. I don't mind it. Not everyone taking a knee. A few of them might be a bit slow getting up, perhaps, but it's quite a unique look to do what the Bulldogs right there, Freaky.
You find little things throughout a season in team sport that you just, for that group, it works. I the year we won the premiership, and it was a seconds grade, Dan Vaccaro, actually, Kelly Park came up with this idea. It was stinking hot. We actually went inside and sat in the air conditioner. But you remember when you watch the State of Origin, there's always the camera in the change room and they sit in a half circle.
Yeah.
So we used to go every game. So when you're going to do the State of Origins, go and sit in there in a half circle in the air conditioning before every game and have our team meeting.
There you go. And it worked in the seconds.
It worked. And we sang Tenacious D. What's the song? I can't remember that's the name of the song now. That's how well it's going.
Very interesting. Watch this space. Kylie Kim, we'll get you to keep eyes on the Wodonga camp. They've only got 3 players coming to the bench, so someone may be out perhaps, unless someone's already made their way to the bench. We'll watch this space and see if we can find anyone. Kylie's going to have a bit of a sticky beak to make sure all 4 players are there, but we'll just watch this one and see what happens. Umpire holds the footy aloft. Third turn for Indigo Power with Luke Francis, the Tigers and the Dogs.
Here we go. Second half of the Albury Sports Ground. Matey wins it out of the middle for the Bulldogs. Good mark, though, from Unthank. In fact, it's Hodgson, and he wants to come here to the half-forward flank for the Tigers. Miles got pushed out of it. He'll win the free kick for his footy club. The natural-born leader. What a footy player. Here he goes, Anthony, and then sends it inside 50. Bice flew at the back. Baker at the front. Ends up in the hands of Matey, so that's his second one, I'd say, Freaky, for this quarter.
Yeah, it is.
And then to Morrison. And he wants to go and retreat here. They lost a little ground, and the switch is on Gussie as they go to the goal square.
Baker is going to want to try and get the overlap here. Andrews ignores, and he goes with a left foot poker out into a bit of space. Now it's with Sorochinski across left half back. Reece King, he went over the man on the mark, and I think the umpire let him get away with that one. Poor handball to Venturoni. Well done by the Albury Tigers. Page tries to keep it alive. Sorochinski kicks as he was pushed. Long down the line, Duncan's there, kicks the Tigers into attack. Bison Baker. That's going to be Baker who wins the free kick in the back pocket.
Angus with the ball. And he goes wide. Now, this kick wasn't 100% on, or it didn't make it to Morrison. Colby Hennessy got hands to it. Ball goes to Conlon Jacob. Hurry kick. Bice to Jacob Conlon again. He tried to just turn one to Jacob Page. Here goes Riley, left foot. There's another one for the Tigers. So poor from the Bulldogs. The skills weren't good at all, and the Tigers have made them pay, Freaky.
Yeah, they certainly have there once again in this. And just a flow on from that second quarter, wasn't it, Luke? You've just been able to keep getting repeat uses of the ball, to keep trying to get in the top of the goal square. Jacob Conlon and Riley Bice working together a couple of times. Jacob Conlon nearly just palmed Josh Matthew off in the lead up to that, just like he weighed absolutely nothing, just got him out of the way and just, able to keep getting it in. And Riley Bice using that real turn of speed to be able to break away from the pack as well.
Boundary side for the newie, Kylie King.
Yeah, Jack Yelland out with a hamstring, so well picked up.
Big loss there for the Dogs. Bull Yelland, of course, he had a tough run with hamstrings, and he could be a big out heading into September for the Wodonga Bulldogs. Watch this space, 71 plays, 22. The Wodonga Bulldogs trail the Albury Tigers for Indigo Power. Back in the centre, give that tap to Muller. Tapped it down, trying to find Wilson. He shovels it back into space. Now it's Sorochinski for the Dogs. Kicks out wide. Well done there by Spiteri. Got around an opposition player in Grills. Handballs over the top. Bradshaw shimmies and shakes. Finds a bit of room with the right foot kick inside 50. Had a bit too much on it. Cassidy had to wait for it. Now it's Grills. Low Chisler. Finds its way to Colby Hennessy. The Tigers want to suck a bit of life, slow things down, and re-emerge as the front runners in this contest. Hennessy sells some candy, kicks long down the line. Big contest. Well done, Andrews. Brought it to ground level. Riley Bice evades one. Handballs to Page. Now to go for Reece King. 65 from home. Kicks to the hot spot. Conlon absolutely ragged old Venturoni. There's going to be an advantage, and it's Angus Baker to slingshot the Dogs into attack, but it's turned over to Spencer Jones.
Hillary, he'll go inside 50 quickly. Conlon at the back. Bice got hands to it. Jacob Page, head over it. Here's Wilson swinging him around without it. So Page will get the kick here. So it's all just sort of unravelling at the moment for the Bulldogs, Freaky.
Yeah, it certainly is. Obviously, as we touched on there, Angus Baker, just a poor kick coming out of that back line, intercept mark there by Spencer Jones, and they've put him down in the back half probably just to get him a little bit more footy in hands, but a couple of times in this third quarter already, he's turned the ball over a few times and just hasn't used it up to the level that we know him to as well. And he has had that tag of Jake Page, who wasn't on him to start the quarter, but he has now gone into the forward line and made himself really dangerous here by having another shot at goal.
Yeah, so a couple of bad skill errors by Foot and defensive 50 for the Bulldogs. Some teams will let you off the hook.
What the hell, Lukey?
Yeah, Jake Pay hasn't made the distance there, so that wasn't his
He was
best.
20 metres out, Luke.
Yeah, wasn't his best, was it, Gussie?
Sorry, Pagey, but...
To Greenhill.
I marked it down, Luke.
It's one of those flop kicks to Andrews in the back pocket, and he wants Morrison.
Jump on the leg press this week, Lukey.
Got the Wink Stakes coming up very shortly, Gussie. In about 19 minutes' time, the Group 1 with $1 million. The Ainsworth just missed Matey with the hand pass. Hodgson to Miles, and he gets one out to Wilson. Here come the Tigers through Hillary, and they play on inside 50.
Good-looking kick. Bice, third bite of the cherry. Got it. Bit too much on it for Charlie Morrison and Riley Bice. Well, this is his bread and butter, Freaky. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Yeah, he's coming up for his fourth disposal already in this third quarter. He's Riley Bice, but just really good play there in the middle of the ground. Obviously, Brighton Hodgson better get the turnover there, and just really good play in the middle of the ground. Once again, their speed and their ability to be able to move the ball forward over turnovers is first class there by the Tigers.
Riley Bice, the silky left footer, will have to kick this one 46 metres. Goal umpire. He's going to have to work, but not work hard enough across the face for a minor score. 50-point lead to the Wodonga, the Albury Tigers over the Bulldogs on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. 6 minutes gone for A.T. Jones here on O&M Live.
Yeah, 50-point break for the Albury Tigers. Early third term. Spiteri got a hand to it and grabbed it on the second attempt. Just fell into his hands. Bradshaw, that didn't go to the required distance, I didn't think. Umpire pays it. He's in a lot better spot than what I am. I will say that. Bradshaw to Jorgensen. Wants to come broadcast side. Now this is Morrison now. He's got one out in Ainsworth. Doesn't go to him. Wants to come back and take his time. Good delivery to Bradshaw. Now they've got to make something of this forward entry here. Here's Baker. Off to Matey. Now Josh delivers to Ainsworth. He's under a stack of pressure from Spencer Jones. Brings into the deck. And the umpire's going to call for it. Yeah, 50-point lead here. We've gone 6.5 on the A.T. Jones time clock. Inspirations Paint scoreboard. 72-22. Gus McLeod from McRae Motors.
Griffiths and Muller. Give it to Muller. Tries to find Elliot Powell. Couldn't quite gather. Spencer Jones handballs and a bit of hit of hope. And it spills out of bounds for a boundary throw in as we go to Brad Freak, thanks to 40 Winks.
Yeah, 4 disposals in this third quarter already to Josh Matey, Angus Baker and Matt Soroczynski for the Wodonga Bulldogs. 4 disposals already for Riley Bice on the 40 Winks stat sheet in the third quarter.
The Tigers by 50 points over the Bulldogs. Thanks to Indigo Power and O&M Live, it's Matt Wilson who handballs in the Jorgensen direction. Kicks to the top of the goal square for Wodonga. Wilding makes a contest. Brought it to ground level. Well done by Conlon. Pack forms and applying a big tackle is Wilding. Kick away in the nick of time was Gilmore. Whistle, free kick. I think it's going to go the way of Spiteri here for the Wodonga Bulldogs. And I couldn't quite tell you what for, Bradley.
It was for a dump, which...
A dump tackle?
Yeah, from my point of view, it didn't look like it. I can see how the umpire would have got to it from his point of view, a little bit further around with Noel the way he fell. But, yeah, I don't think there was any dump tackle in that, unfortunately. But a bit of luck there for the Dogs and the line up here through Noah Spiteri for their first goal since the first quarter.
Goalless since the 19-minute mark of the first term. And Spiteri gets one on the board for the Dogs. They bring the margin back to 44 points. How desperately they needed that one, thanks to Inspirations Paint. 72 plays 28 on O&M Live. The Tigers lead the Dogs.
Only a couple inside 50s in this third quarter, and only to get that first goal there for the Wodonga Bulldogs, much needed through Noah Spiteri, which, Gussie, I tell you right now, I bet you $1.01 he'll be watching that highlight tomorrow.
He'll be saying it was a well-worked free kick, knowing Spitzy.
Yes, he will.
So that was their first goal since the 90-minute mark of the first term. Hard to believe. So the Tigers just blew it out of the water in the second term. And the Dogs on this slow road back now. Here's Bice going inside 50 again for the Tigers here at the Hume Street end. Bouncing ball, Morrison coming out quickly on the left boot. Gainer picks it up now. Tries to beat a tackler. Bice ends up with it. Out the back to Hodgson. Short and wide, just misses Cameron there, and the ball has gone out of bounds in the pocket. Now, Freaky, I've got a stat for you, mate.
Righto, mate.
We've got the Wink Stakes coming up very shortly, as we said, in Sydney.
Yep.
The Great Mare won 37 races. You're sponsored by 40 Winks, your stat sheet every week. If she won 3 more, that'd make it 40 and make her 40 Winks. There you go. How's that, Gus? You're very impressed, aren't you? Look, I can tell. I can tell.
You know what, Lukey? You've had some absolute stinkers, but you've actually thought through that one.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, Luke. It's not your best, but it's certainly not your worst.
No, well, yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that, Gus. It's
9.5 minutes gone for A.T. Jones. There was a dump tackle. You probably could have paid that one there. Jorgensen comes through for the Dogs. Burrows his way through, but he runs into Elliot Powell. Will ball the footy up 40 metres out from Tigers' goal. So a stoppage here. Jules in the ruck against Muller, giving away a fair few kilos. Muller won the tap. Dogs have numbers, trying to find Wilson. Well done, Matt Wilson. Handballs over the top. Finds Wortman. Put Wilson back into a fair bit of pressure. And Wilson's going to be on the end of his own handball here. He needs some help from his Dogs teammate. They now arrive, but they're a bit late to the party. McGrath wrapped up by Matey. And will ball the footy up, true centre wing, right in front of Kylie King for the Newmarket Hotel.
Yeah, just a little bit of a skill error there with the Doggies and when they were on a run, and the Tigers quick to apply the tackle for the ball up now.
What do you got for us, Freaky, down here at ground level?
Yeah, just have to get Kylie to keep an eye. It looks like Noah Spiteri's come from the ground there. They look like the Wodonga training stuff. I'm just having a look at his ankle. Looks like he's got I think it's his left boot off.
Yeah, left boot is off, and he has got some strapping on the ankle. So, yeah, just applying a bit of pressure at the moment and just seeing if it's... he's not wincing in pain, so that's a good sign. Just the top of his foot probably more so, actually.
You might have to run across a couple of those boot warmers you got for us, Kylie, you're telling us about.
Hey, I could get good money if I sort of put them on the open market today.
Yeah, exactly. Do you wear those on the golf course?
The hand warmers are essential on the golf
warmers.
course at this time of year. Yeah.
Unthank into Cameron. Left to centre wing here, broadcast side. Tigers with a big lead, 72-28. 11 minutes into the third term. Jorgensen, Lucas Conlon worried him out of it. Here's Hodgson, look at him go. Weaving through the square, wanting Kyle behind a Hennessy over the top. Wilson got a hand to it. Duncan goes in. Ground level again. Players fighting away for it. This one might be tied up. Umpire lets it go a little longer. And now we'll have it.
Keep an eye on Liam Andrews too, Freak. He just grabbed at his hamstring after the back of that contest. We'll watch him. He's not running overly smoothly back into the last line of defence.
Back at ground level. Here's Powell. Goes very wide. Gets Signer Hennessy though. Forward entry here. Man on the mark. About 40 out, Freaky.
Yeah, the likes of Elliot Powell and Jake Gaynor and Anthony Miles, when they are allowed a little bit of space, 60 to 80 metres out from goal, they can hit any target inside that forward 50 for the Albury Tigers. They got some really good keys up there. Obviously, Elliot Powell is able to hit Cole behind Hennessy on this occasion, but we've seen many times today with Gaynor lacing out Jacob Conlon in the forward half. They're just really damaging when you give their better players some time and space.
Holbrook, premiership player, playing that one last year. That'll bring rain, Gus McLeod. Look how high that's gone to the top of the goal square. Jacob Conlon hurriedly on the boot. Greenhill fighting away for it, and Soroczynski sees it across the line here. Third term as Hodgson now comes to the bench and Hillary replaces him.
So boundary throw in. Deep into attack for the Albury Tigers. They lead 72-28 here on O&M Live, and that's a massive throw back into the field of play. Page is tracking it for Albury, feeds a handball back. The Tigers have numbers. Now it's Jake Gaynor, 65 from home. Over the top to Cameron, got a handball away cleverly. But Wodonga intercept. The kick goes long down the line. It's Oscar Wilding. But no one's in front of him, so he's going to have to chip the ball to Cassidy. It's a well-weighted kick. Beatty's leading in pursuit. But the Bulldogs opt to use the corridor. Now it's Greenhill. Got met late by Jones. Should be a 50-metre penalty in my opinion. Umpire begged to differ. Overlapping run comes from Soroczynski. Now back to Greenhill. Inside 50 go the Dogs. Back of the pack. Who's there? Wilding. Toe poke off the ground. But it's across the face for a minor score. The Dogs move to 4-5-29. The Tigers 11-6-72. That's all thanks to Inspirations Paint here on O&M Live. We've played 13 and a half minutes.
Gus McLeod calling beautifully for McRae Motors. Kylie King is with us, boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel and Brad Freak. Thanks to 40 Winks. Miles out of the back line for the Tigers. The centre wing on the far side. Kelly made contact with the ball. Unthank after it. Kept it in play to Heiner Hennessy and then tried to get it back to Unthank. Ball out of bounds. So, at the moment, The Tigers back up from their 15-goal win over the Wodonga Raiders 7 days ago. That made it 5 in a row for them. Their last loss was back in round 10, mid-June, when they went down to Yarrawonga here at the Sports Ground by 14 points. Back into play. And this one's going to be tied up, is it? Miles and Sam Jewell over the top of him. And the umpire will take it, Gussie.
Around the grounds, thanks to Bingley. Round 17 in the SSNA, Ovens and Murray. 103-31. Yarrawonga lead the Rovers. 84-18. The Pies lead the Saints. And Lavington and the Raiders. The score hasn't updated, but it was a 14-point lead to Lavington at the main break. Back here at the Albury Sports Ground. It's 72-29, favouring the Albury Tigers over the Dogs. We go to Brad Freak for 40 wings.
Yeah, they've just been able to get a little bit more momentum this last period of the play, the Wodonga Bulldogs, but just haven't been able to hit the scoreboard. They've been able to stem the Albury Tigers a little bit.
Back into play. We've got a free kick for a throw here. The infringement is going to go the way of...
No, I reckon it actually hit the umpire, Gus.
Oh, there you go.
Balled it up.
There you go. Well spotted, Brad Freak for 40 wings. Bradshaw left that behind. Elliot Powell, another 40 wings disposal. Now it's Jorgensen for the Dogs. Kicks down the line. Cassidy, unlucky not to give away a free kick. Wrapped up by 2 Albury Tigers and is picked up and taken across the boundary line. You can't fend that off when you're physically picked up and dragged across the line, Brad.
No, they nearly lifted and throw him off the shoulder. It's like he's getting kicked out of the pub there. He's just getting taken out, and out you go, mate.
Yeah, you're right, Freaky. The bouncers just escorted him out of the building. And then out the back to Wainsworth over the shoulder here. Free kick is going to go to Jorgensen. Now, what's he going to do here? Adam, so he's right as centre wing. Look at that for a kick to Wortman. Dan now launches a high ball inside 50. Big pack going up. Muller went over his head. Gilmore to Spencer Jones. And now to Duncan. They want to come this way to Bice. Now Bice. What's he going to do here? He wants to angle back towards Jesse Wilson. Gee, that's beautiful foot skills from the Tigers. So they've worked it to centre wing now. Jesse's kicked 2 in this footy game. Oh, that was lovely to Spencer Jones. You can handball on now to Bice, and away they go. The Tigers, this is them at their best. Goes for home, sails to the right, and has gone through for 1 minor score. 73 plays 29 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Third term is brought to you by Indigo Power on O&M Live. AT Jones Time Clock has gone 16 and a half.
Riley Bice just letting me off the chain a little bit too much in this third quarter. He's up to the 8 disposals for the Albury Tigers, 4 for Jake Gaynor, so he's really lifted off from that second quarter.
Sorochinski takes a third bounce for Wodonga, kicks long down the clubroom side wing. Contest 2-on-2. The Tigers prevail. Here's Harry Cameron. Handballs over the top. It's okay. Via Hodgkin. Now it's Gaynor over the back with the overlapping run of Duncan. Duncan wants to go back. In fact, now it's Hodgson who kicks the Tigers into attack, and it's a beautiful delivery to McGrath. McGrath's going to play on, improve the angle, unselfish footy, and Jimmy Grills wants a gong, Jim. 35 metres out slide angle. The Tigers are just slicing through the defence of the Dogs.
Yeah, really good play there from the Albury Tigers just to pick that right pass up. Cassie, I was just keeping an eye, as you touched on before, about Liam Andrews. Just looked to struggle a little bit in that marking contest to keep up with McGrath there. And then after the ball was marked then by Grills, just stretched that hamstring out a little bit. So probably have to keep an eye on him throughout the day. But really good play there from the Albury Tigers, and McGrath to find Jimmy Grills in a much easier shot for them.
So Jim Grills, the co-captain of the Albury Tigers, arguably been his best season at the club. Left foot kick from Jimmy. It's across the face and inaccurate for a minor score. 11-8-74 the Tigers. The Dogs 4-5-29 on the Inspirations Paint scoreboard. Wodonga need to find something pretty quick. It's the kick in from Andrews finds Sorochinski.
Yeah, 45-point margin to the Tigers. Sorochinski long. Look at that for a kick. Long and deep out of the fence. Bice off to Hillary. Here they come again, the Tigers. So Wodonga Bulldogs have just been under just a pellet and rain of Sharons down there today. Now what's happened? There's a whistle here. Has that gone out of bounds? It has. So we'll have a boundary throw in. And the Wodonga Bulldogs, well, they were excellent last week in Wang, weren't they, when they ambushed the Rovers, Freaky. A 3-goal margin in that one. And with that, they locked in their first final appearance in 14 years, since 2009. But today, they've just been on the back foot.
Yeah, one-way traffic at the moment since quarter time. 27 inside 50s to 8 in favour of the Albury Tigers.
Big contest there. Jacob Conlon applies a big tackle on Adam Jorgensen. So we played 19 minutes here. Only 2 goals in the third term. Riley Bias in the third minute and Noah Spiteri in the 8th. 1 goal apiece. And the margin is still quite a hefty one favouring the Albury Tigers. Sitting on the last line of defence there is Ben Kelly. Umpire calls him to play on for Albury. Kicks 40 metres out from Tigers' goal. Grills made a good contest. Crumbed his own dirty work. Got it onto Gaynor. And Gaynor smashed by Josh Matey. I thought it was a fair tackle, to tell you the truth, boys. And in the end, it's a free kick to Jake. He's going to be kicking this one 50 metres out directly in front.
It certainly was a high tackle, but it depends if you think that he might have just dropped the shoulders or the knees a little bit with that one there, because he certainly did get taken high, Lukey, but it's up to the umpire. Was behind the tackle, so he would have just seen the high. So it depends what angle he had on that. We heard a few unhappy Wodonga supporters near us that might have thought otherwise.
Now, I'm a big Jake Gaynor fan, but Jakey cannot kick this too far out, so he kicks in the pocket. Conlon, the Bulldogs have numbers. Andrews, beautifully weighted left foot kick. It was like a Kylie King pitching wedge at the Faguna Golf Club. Grills back in towards a bit of space for the Tigers. Now on to Byrne, lowers the eyes and bites. 45 metres out, tied up on the boundary line. Old scoreboard end. Wants to find an option. Opens the corridor up. Miles. Anthony Miles, 55 metres out, slight angle. I don't think Miles, he's got the journey from here either. Bice wants to get it back off him, and Snip just says, well, why'd you kick it to me, Freaky?
Yeah, he's a bit like that, wasn't he? Riley Bice was certainly looking to run around there and get the handball from him there, but really good smart work there from Harry Kitching just to mark him and not let him get that easy handball and have a shot at goal.
I reckon he's going to kick to Conlon here, boys. Wait for the lead. Anthony Miles arcs around now. He's going to have a crack, Anthony Miles. Launches from downtown, and it's across the face for a minor score. Very smart from Miles. He waited and waited and waited for a lead. It didn't come in the end. The Bulldogs bring the footy back into play. The Tigers lead 75-29 for Inspirations Paint.
Andrews, top of the goal square. Hume Street end, and he misses another one. So he tried to get to Deneen. So the Bulldogs' foot skills have been off in defensive 50 in this footy game, Freaky.
Yes, especially after quarter time. But I think that there's a lot of that goes down to the pressure from the Albury Tigers. They've just been able to get their defensive structure right and haven't been able to let them chip through like they did in that first term.
Muller sweeping one. King, now Bradshaw now takes it. Left foot, one-on-one between Matey and Byrne. Good contest. Out the back, Gilmore overran it. And then finds its way to Wilding. It just spits one out the side. This is Gilmore. And then on to Unthank, to Spencer Jones. And he comes out wide to Lucas Conlon, true half back. Short one to Byrne, finds him along the ground. Hand passes out. Unthank, nicely played to Lucas Conlon. And there's one out here, and that's Spencer Jones. Now he's got Jake Page running for him. He'll get him. So they've switched it right across to the club room side. Now let's see what he's got up the line. Tries to get Gilmore. Finds him. They've worked it right around to the other side of the ground, and now they cut inboard and just turn it over, and the Doggies are away through Matt Wilson.
Wilson handballs over the top, but it's chopped out by the Tigers. They have numbers around this contest. Spills out the back. Well done, Beattie. The late inclusion for the Dogs. Gathered the footy, and after all that, the umpire says, give it here. We'll ball the footy up on the edge of the centre square. Albury, 11-9-75. The Bulldogs, 4-5-29. At the 22-minute mark for Indigo Power. Up goes the footy. Griffiths probably should have got a free kick there. Gets a kick away. Gains about 20 metres for the Bulldogs to a 2-on-1. Bryden Hodgson's there. He tried to find Gilmore, but the handball was poor. Free kick and a whistle. It's going to go the way of the Dogs here. Harry Kitching, 75 from home. Switches. Wilson. And Wilson's in range here. 50 metres out, he'll kick from 45, Freaky directly in front. I reckon Wilson's got the leg.
Yeah, I reckon he's certainly got he's got the distance in him. He's having a really good third quarter as well, Matty Wilson. He's up to the 5 disposals on the 40-wing stat sheet.
Wilson, best on ground last week, improves the angle, kicks on goal, doesn't have the accuracy. He certainly had the legs. It's across the face for a minor score. 4-6-30 the Dogs. The Tigers 11-9-75 for Inspirations Paint.
Hillary comes away with the footy. Short ball. Finding McGrath. Half-back flank for the Tigers. Club room side. Into Gilmore again. Lost a little territory there. And there's the siren to bring three-quarter time here at the sports ground, and the Tigers with a handy break. They're in front, 11-9-75 to the Wodonga Bulldogs, 4-6-30. This is Owen Live, and remember, on Owen Live, you will not miss a thing.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTafe.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.
On 2AY.
Yeah, welcome back to the Albury Sports Ground, and what a clash we've got. Round 17 of 18 in the Ovens and Murray. Can you believe it? Just 2 weeks until the finals. 14 days, and at the moment, it's a 45-point lead to the Albury Tigers at three-quarter time. The Tigers 11-9-75 to the Bulldogs 4-6-30. 8:30 at the Sports Ground. Brad Freak is alongside of me at the moment for 40 Winks. Freaky, they've really put the foot down today, the Tigers, and we'll talk a little bit about the third term shortly. But firstly, the Optus quarter's best. What have you got for us, Freaky?
Yeah, in that third quarter for the Albury Tigers, I had Riley Bice in that third term. I thought he was outstanding for them. He had as we touch on a little bit later on the 40-week stat sheet, he was had the 10 disposals in that quarter and kicked a goal as well. I thought his leg speed was really good. He's really grown into this game as well. I think he's got better as longer this game has gone on. For the Wodonga Bulldogs, had Matt Sorochinski off their half-back line. I thought that he used the ball quite well and gave them a bit of dash, and their defence has been under all sorts of troubles today. They just hasn't been able to repel, and it's been hurting them all day in this game. And if we have a look at the team stats on the 40-wing stat sheet, only 4 inside 50s to 13 in that third quarter in favour of the Albury Tigers. And since quarter time, there's been 9 inside 50s for the Wodonga Bulldogs, where we look at the Albury Tigers at 29. So plus 20 in 2 quarters of football in favour of the Albury Tigers, and just been completely dominant in that time. If we have a look at the 40 weeks, the possession getters in that third quarter, Riley Bice is up to 17. Anthony Miles has had 21. Jake Gaynor's had 19. Elliot Powers had the 18. And if we have a look at Wodonga Bulldogs, Matt Sorochinski's up to the 18 disposals, 14 for Adam Jorgensen, and the 13 for Matt Wilson.
For the Newmarket Hotel, Kylie King's boundary side. Which huddle did you make your way to at three-quarter time?
Look, I just went back into the Wodonga huddle and listened to Jordan Taylor again. He actually praised the lads for that quarter, definitely said it was a better effort. And he said, just stick to the things we know that we do well, and that is generally apply some pressure and let's build momentum for next week. So he really wants them to finish off hard this quarter, looking ahead to next week and to wrap up the year ahead of finals.
If you just joined the broadcast, it was the second term that was the big damaging one. The Albury Tigers kicked 8 unanswered goals, and what do they lead by, Lukey? 8 goals.
8 goals, that's it, Kelsey.
There you go. So one quarter of footy's cost them. We're about to get underway in the final term for Mac Jack Sheds. Here's Luke Francis, one of Phil Packer's favourites.
That's it. That is exactly right. 45 points, 8 goals. So here we go. Final term, Powell. And then getting it up was Miles to Gaynor. And then come away for right boot out wide, trying to find Grills. Ball went to ground level. Grills goes again. Wilson fighting away for it. And then gets it on the left foot and sends it down towards the half-forward flank. Then knocked away by Sam Jewell. There's Spiteri. Nice kick to Kitching. Now Harry. Here they come, the Dogs. They need one from this. Ainsworth couldn't quite get there. And it goes to Spencer Jones, and he'll come this way to Bice.
Bice, his numbers, please, Brad.
He's coming in for his 18th of the game.
Been excellent today as he kicks long down the line. Falls the way of King. Good use of the body. Reece King can kick on goal. Just going to hit the post. A bee's diaphragm was all it needed to be to the left. And it's a minus score for Reece. The Tigers 11-11-77. The Dogs 4-6-70. In fact, the scoreboard attendant might be even ahead of the game. It's 11-10-76. My apologies for Border Carpets.
Oh, good, Gussie. A beast diaphragm. I like it. To Green Hill.
You could have used something a bit more explicit, Lukey. No, save that for the drive home.
I knew what you were doing. It's fantastic. Sorochinski.
It's extraordinary.
It's extraordinary. Edge of the 50, and then going back, trying to find Venturoni. Gets to him. So the Doggies deep in defence. As they go to shift it out now to the outer side. This is looking for Wilson. Just takes it inside the field of play. Jake Page, the man on the mark. Doggies a long way from home at the moment. They do have possession. Good hit. Finding Jorgensen. True half-back flank, and away goes Adam. Oh, short one to Wilson. Put him under pressure. Jorgensen got it back, but they've got to try something. The endeavour was there, but it didn't come off, and the Tigers have it.
Overlapping run. Here comes Cole behind a Hennessy. Ran into a Bulldogs brick wall called Josh Mathy, but he turned it over to his opposing number 2, Muller. Now the Tigers are in attack. Reece King, 55 from home. Well-weighted kick to Jacob Conlon. Albury Tigers at their best, and like we spotted early, I reckon there's a hamstring injury here, boys. Looks like it might be Reece Venturoni.
Oh, no.
Who was tracking Jacob Conlon. He's grabbed straight at his hamstring, boys.
And he was actually singled out by the coach in that last huddle for doing a sterling job at fullback too, so that's an absolute blow for Wodonga.
Another hamstring. Already lost Jack Yellen today, and, of course, Coach Geordie Taylor last week to hammies. Jacob Conlon, in the meantime, kicks a brilliant goal for the Albury Tigers. He's kicked his 3rd. The Tigers have kicked their 12th, and unfortunately this game's got nothing left in it. Wodonga Bulldogs are battered and bruised and the Tigers are kicking away.
Yeah, really good play by the Tigers there. Obviously, as you touched on, Lukey, between Jorgensen and Matt Wilson in the middle of the ground there for the Dogs, they had to try something, didn't they? And I liked the fact that, and I'm sure the coaching staff did as well, they liked to take took the game on, and probably okay for the turnover there, but the Tigers just kill you on the turnovers.
Yeah, that's right, Figgy. They were trying to get some speed on the ball, just some run, but it didn't quite come off. Miles, he caught one in the back. Great decision from the umpire. Anthony will take it. Right of the centre here at the Albury Sports Ground. Tigers lead 82-30 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. Final term as he goes to the half-forward flank. Big pack going up out the back to Colby Hennessy. Drills it towards Conlon, and Jacob takes it in the hands. Those vice grip mitts, Freaky.
Yeah, just really, when he gets his hands up high like that, he's really, really hard to stop. Just really good reading of the ball there by Hennessy. I think it was Reece King as well. A couple of Bulldogs defenders went and flew, and it's just the Albury Tigers boys that were left at ground level and just kicked it out in the space for Jacob Conlon, who took a nice mark out in front.
Jacob shooting for a quartet. And look at that. He gets it in all right. That is a goal. That's 4 for Jacob at the 4-minute mark of the final term on the H.E. Jones time clock. And they have really streeted them here this afternoon, Gus McLeod. The Tigers getting right away on the maroon and white.
58-point lead, a game high for the Albury Tigers, and we'll cross boundary side for the Newmarket Hotel, Kylie King. These injuries have really taken the wind out of Wodonga's sails.
Well, that's right. They went into the third quarter, one down, didn't they, with a hamstring, and now to have another one off with a hammy, not good. And a few other niggly injuries with some other players too that they're managing.
Muller been superb in the ruck today for the Tigers. Certainly won the battle against Bailey Griffiths. There's going to be a free kick and a stoppage here. Matt Wilson trying to assert some authority into the contest for the Dogs. He was wrapped up. Griffiths and Muller, give that one to Muller, falls the way of Miles. His handball is intercepted by Jorgensen. True centre of the Albury Sports Ground, pumps the Dogs into attack. Flying across the pack was Unthank. He's been good today. On to Gilmore, out wide now. It's Max Byrne for the Tigers. Long raking kick down the line, falls the way of Reece King. Handball's back to Bryden Hodgson. Needs to be clean, needs to be clever, but his kick wasn't great. Turned over across half back. It's Adam Jorgensen as he comes in board to the boy from Finley, Matt Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson with it. On the half-back flank for the maroon and white, and then a low driving kick. And that was another one of those kicks, Freaky, that they were trying something. I don't mind it.
Yeah, no, it's good to see that they are taking the game on even this late in the game as well. So be good for the Dogs.
Yeah, risk and reward football didn't come off. You've got to experiment now. There's Colby Hennessy to half forward. Good mark taken by Hodgson. Just in front of Kitching. Then Bryden wants to go out very wide here.
They're absolutely flying here, Freaky, and I tell you what, Wodonga, they're going to learn a lot of lessons out of this. It's not all doom and gloom.
No.
A lot to play for this season, but injuries, and they've learnt a lot coming up against the powerhouse that is Albury.
Yeah, absolutely. They come up against obviously a really, really strong Albury outfit, and you can really test yourself in a game like today and see where you're at. And unfortunately, the Tigers have just been too good. But if they do happen to come up against them in finals, they've probably seen a few things that the Tigers might throw at them, such as Jake Page going to Angus Baker. So they will learn a lot out of this game.
Jesse Wilson, of course, now starting a career as a forward for the Albury Tigers. Watch this space as we head in towards September action. Back here live, Matthew's got Duncan in a vice grip. They can't go anywhere. 94 plays 30 here on O&M Live. It's a 64-point lead to the Albury Tigers, a game-high lead. As Muller wins another tap, but Wilson's there for the Dogs. Disposed of that illegally, umpire missed it. Kitching head over the footy, got Gaynor high, umpire let it go. Ooh. Miles got it back to Unthank, and Unthank across half back with a raking left foot kick, puts Spencer Jones in a foot race with Spiteri. Jones wins the battle, retreats, goes backwards, he finds Hillary via hand, and Hillary chips the ball nicely to Jimmy Grills, true centre wing, clubroom side.
Yeah, just under the balcony on Ladies' Day. And then Bice Off to King. Then King goes inside 50. Conlon one out at the back with Morrison. Conlon again. Good tackle from Morrison. Wins on this occasion. And comes out broadcast side to Kitching. As we said, Ladies' Day here at the Sports Ground. But
pretty loose over there now, Luke, you reckon?
You think so, Gussie? We've actually got the First Lady with us ourselves, Kylie King, the Mayor of Albury. So if you're tuning into O&M Live for the first time, 1494 2AY, we're not joking. Kylie is actually the Mayor. She is actually the Ridgy Didge, number one in the town. And the ball's been tapped out of bounds here, left to centre wing, Gussie.
Certainly has. We go to Brad Freak for a 40-wing stats update.
Yeah, Anthony Miles up to the 6 disposals already in the last quarter. He's up to 27 for the game. He had 31 disposals in the last game as well. I feel like he's had those 3 or 4 games to get into the season. Now he's up and firing for the Tigers at the right time of the year, and he just makes their midfield so much more dynamic.
Ainsworth got taken high. He ended up winning the footy back. Handball from Bradshaw was ignored because he went to Mathy in the middle of the ground. Too much for the stick, who's been quiet today. Unfake just hacked it out of mid-air like a soccer player at the back post. Clever from Spiteri. Slapped it backwards to the advantage of Soroczynski. Through the centre of the ground come the Wodonga Bulldogs into attack. Lucas Conlon, good use of the body. Falls at the back to Byrne. Gonna have to kick cleanly, he does. Page evades Mathy, now onto Anthony Miles. The co-coach of the Tigers across half-back. Kicks into the forward line for Albury. Well done by Greenhill. Too strong there for Grills. Support arrives for Albury via Reece King. He keeps it alive. His handball was poor. And trying to get the boundary line is Liam Andrews. And that's what he gets. We'll bring the footy back into play. 60 metres out from Tigers goal.
Yeah, Gussie, the Wink Stakes was won in Sydney by Fangirl. If you missed it, for J-Mac, James McDonald and Chris Waller, returning about $5.20 and $2.10 in New South Wales. One from Princess Grace and Zaki finishing third. Good horse, Fangirl, Gussie. Bought the bottom of the pack. Gainer. Players stack on. We're going to have a ball up, Freaky.
I haven't seen Angus Baker out on the ground in this last term, and I'm not too sure. I don't know if Kylie might have a better angle as me. I'm not too sure if he's on the bench or not, so that might be... I'm not too sure what the go is there, but he certainly hasn't been out in the field from what I've been able to see so far.
King, hurriedly on the boot, come off the side. Kitching sat under it. Coming through Bradshaw. Mathy out wide to Soroczynski, and away he goes. Look at him go, Soroczynski. Takes off and then heads inside 50. Has he done a hammy?
I reckon he has, boys.
Oh, no. Not another one. So Matt Soroczynski might be in trouble here, Gussie, as he got rid of that ball and kicked it down the line.
As he kicked, of course, he was running at full tilt there, freaking.
Oh, yeah.
He's done a hamstring as well. 3 in one day, 4 in a fortnight.
It's just, when it rains, it pours, doesn't it? It's just such bad luck for the Dogs at the wrong time of the year. Just he's having a good game too, Matt Soroczynski as well. He's up to the 3 disposals in this last quarter on 40 stat sheet, 22 for the game. And yeah, he's fair to say his day is done.
Anthony Miles just went up in the ruck as well to make things a little bit weirder. Don't know what Ben Kelly was doing trying to play as a midfielder, but...
He's just going to crumb it, Gussie.
We'll get Kylie King to keep tabs on Matt Soroczynski. He is in a world of pain coming from the ground with a hamstring injury, of course. Jack Yellens and Reece Venturoni already having done hamstrings today, and we can't see where Angus Baker is at present. The walking wound of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Gussie, the only problem I could see with Soroczynski, Freaky, he was going that fast, he was moving that quickly, wasn't he?
Well, that was probably his issue, wasn't he?
That's right.
I think us three would love to move that fast, but he's just a little bit too quick, and unfortunately, it looks like he's done a bad hammy there too. He's in a lot of pain coming off.
Yeah, he took off like Usain Bolt, except he had a Sharon with him. Here's Miles, right foot, around the body, just heading forward for the Tigers now. Here's McGrath. Now he'll centre it. Back to the top of the square. That's a beautiful kick. Conlon caught at the back. And then play goes on. Off the ground, Jacob Conlon. He's got another one. That's 6, is it, Freaky?
It is.
That's 6 for Jacob. And I think 4 in this quarter.
Yep.
Yeah, the only 4 in this quarter. Wow. That's amazing. But, yeah, all the news around the Bulldogs and their injury woes now, Gussie. This isn't good heading into September. We'll go back down to Kylie for the Newmarket. What do you think down there, Kylie?
Yeah, definitely getting treatment for the bottom parcel of his hamstring. So not up high, sort of in that midsection he's getting treatment at the moment.
Anthony Miles up to 8 disposals for the Albury Tigers in this last quarter on the 40-wing stat sheet. 3 disposals for Adam Jorgensen and Josh Mathy for the Wodonga Bulldogs.
Unfortunately, this game's done and dusted on O&M Live. The Tigers are making a mark as they go inside 50 again. Conlon He's brought his own footy in the final term. He's already kicked 4 goals, the only 4 goals, and ironically, Freaky, 2 of them have been from this exact spot.
Yeah, he's beautiful, isn't he, Jacob Conlon? When he'd be able to lead at the footy and take good, strong marks like that. Really good confidence boost as well for the Tigers. He had a little bit of a lull in form in the middle of the year, but I think his last 3 or 4 weeks have been really strong. Kicked the 12 goals coming into this game, and he's lining up for number 7 as well. So, been a really good day for Jacob Conlon.
Jacob Conlon to the Botanic Garden end. It's across the face. Doesn't quite have the leg, stays in the field of play. Here's a go for Wortman. Crumbed it nicely for the Dogs. He kicks out trying to find Charlie Morrison, who's going to get the footy and run as fast as he can. Kicks to Wilding. Marks just behind true centre wing. Now he's looking for an option via hand.
And he goes to Mathy, and Mathy with the 25-metre kick just misses Beattie, too tall for him. Ends up in the hands of Hillary. And wants to cut into Hodgson. Now the switch is on here. Bryden. That kick didn't come off. Here comes Memo from the opposite direction. Tried to win it. Powell's all over him. Umpire says around the shoulder. So Cade Memo with the ball. Do you got there, Gussie?
I'll get back to you, Lukey.
On to Jorgensen. He tried to wind up with a torpy, and another one where we just say, yeah, why not? Just try something. And then this one comes to Cameron. We'll go to you now, Gussie.
Around the grounds, thanks to Bingley. Beechworth lead by 14 points at three-quarter time over Kiwa Sandy Creek. They're facing back-to-back losses in the last 2 games of the year.
Yeah, to lag the league final start next Saturday. Where can you catch it, Gussie?
Oh, the only place you'll catch is with the O&M Live team. The TDFL finals brought to you by 1494 2AYs. The Tigers switch dangerously. Burn, a little bit clumsy. Well done, Jet Cassidy. An elite body and paint play of the day, but he couldn't quite get his hands on the Sharon at the last moment. It's Jimmy Grills in front of the well-lubricated Albury supporters. They're well hydrated on the balcony. Powell, inside attacking 50. Guess who? Conlon. Couldn't quite bring it to ground level. Made a good contest of it. Pinballs around and just toe poked across the line was Sam Jewell. And boys, what I reckon will happen in the TDFL as well. At three-quarter time, Yakandana lead 16-12 to Midders 5-5. I dare say with the result happening, it would mean Barnawatha would sneak into 5th spot. Of course, Midder must win to play finals. Looks like Barney will take on the elimination final against Chiltern.
Yeah, Barney, very interesting. Unthank drills one in towards Jake Page. Just put it to deck. Here's Powell and also Wilson going in. Spiteri got one out to Wortman. Good play. Then on to Mathy. Quick one hurriedly to the middle. Going back for it though, Hodgson. Finds it on the ground. Now what's he got out here? He's trying to find Cameron. He takes possession. True centre wing of the Albury Sports Ground. What a beautiful venue it is. And he goes down the line. Just on the arc of the 50, over the top, Morrison. He repels for the Bulldogs. Ainsworth takes it in the hands. Just got his legs taken from under him. It was accidental from Cameron. So Cohen with the pill. Gets up to his feet. He's had a good fortnight.
Just add another spanner into the works. The Goona lead Barnawatha by 9 points at three-quarter time.
Interesting, Gussie. So it's all happening now, isn't it? It's really starting to ramp up.
Get your calculators out if you're in the TDFL. Heiner Hennessy inside 50. And marking uncontested is Jacob Page. 40 metres out, slide angle. Freaky, the left footer will love this one.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw him have a shot earlier from probably a bit closer to the boundary with the upside down worm burning
ice cream cone kick,
whatever you want to call it. Somehow
the Mr. Whippy kick.
I bet you he'll probably kick a pure drop punt here, but probably put it out of bounds on the full. It'll be completely the opposite of what he did last time, but no, hopefully put another one through for Jake.
To extend the margin to a game-high 76-point lead, Jacob Page says, stuff you, Brad Freak. Straight over the goal umpire's hat with no mistake at all. 16 goals for the Albury Tigers. 2 of them come to Jake Page, and it's a 76-point lead to Albury on the Border Carpet scoreboard.
What I was going to touch on there, with just quickly on the Tlangata League again there, Gussie, if those scores hang out, it means that Yak and Dander will then jump Kiwa for top spot on the ladder because Yak have the better percentage.
It's all happening. Get your calculators out.
Kiwa have been on top for 17 weeks of the season.
And they could fall short.
Final week.
Yeah.
Luke, you'll have a heart attack having to learn a whole new team ahead of next week.
Hard to believe. So who goes in?
Well, it looks like it could be Beechworth versus Kiwa Sandy Creek now.
Yeah.
The results stay the way they are.
Yeah, interesting. So 106 to 30 here at the Sports Ground. The Albury Tigers have kicked the last 14 of 15 goals. Colby Heiner Hennessy. 60 out from home. And then sends it in to the Botanic Gardens end and then went to ground. Jacob Conlon fights away for it. Deneen had a swing at it. Cameron. And ball gets out here to Jake Page. Now to Gaynor. Swings around on that right boot. Sends it in towards the forward pocket for the Tigers. Bouncing ball. Spencer Jones picks it up. Spits one out the back of the contest. Spiteri weaving through. Did nicely. Now he's got to find a teammate out the opposite side. Over the head of Unthank. Cameron provides a shepherd. Duncan picks it up for the Tigers. Wheels around. Gets onto that right foot and finds Elliot Powell.
Powell. One kick away from attack for the Albury Tigers. He kicks still 40 metres out directly in front. Spencer Jones gets some grippo on Sun. Dropped an absolute dolly. Spills out now. The Bulldogs have numbers. Great overlapping run from Mimo onto Mathy. Mathy trying to find an option. He retreats to his captain in Morrison. Kicks out wide to his co-captain in Greenhill. Across half-back in front of the netball courts here. The Ladies' Day function is certainly in full flight as Bradshaw marks at centre half-back for the Dogs. Mac Jack Sheds final quarter action. Great to have Paxi and the boys on. For 2023, Mac Jack Sheds quality steel protection. Here's the go for Wilson. Handballs over the top. Kitching waited for the ball to drop, then put his head over the footy. The support from the Tigers arrive now. Will ball the footy up right in front of Kylie King for the Newmarket Hotel. Wodonga, we think they're down to no rotations, Kyles.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, there's no one moving at all on the Wodonga bench.
Yeah, they're running out of numbers, Kylie. So Muller, Bradshaw picks it up for the Bulldogs. Did a 360 and then set it inside 50. Let's have a look. Yeah, Lucas Conlon. So strong in defence, holding up. And moves it to Hillary. He's got Duncan running for him, gets him. And then Mick sends it outside 50. Beautiful kick to Heiner Hennessy. And he wants to go down the line with about a 20-metre kick. Picks up King. Ollie Greenhill mans the mark. So just forward of centre wing here on the clubroom side. Nice one. Down to Wilson. So they're linking up beautifully here. The yellow and black to the top of the 50. Oh, nice footy. Brad Freak to Harry Cameron this time.
Yeah, just beautiful kick there from Jesse Wilson, being able to, and good vision as well to centre the ball, and just Harry Cameron just being able to come to the back of the pack and take a nice, easy, uncontested mark. There was a contest there between the Wodonga player and his opponent, and Harry was just at the back of the pack at the right place at the right time and able to take a really nice, easy chest mark and hopefully go back and put through another one for the Albury Tigers.
Yeah, Harry Cameron. So that was the Albury Tigers at their skillful best. On display there on the Optus Vision. And 1494 2AY. Harry Cameron, he's just missed that one. It's gone through for one behind. So 107 plays 30 on the Border Carpet scoreboard. Last turn's brought to you by Mac Jack Shed. The A.T. Jones time clock has gone 20. Final term, Gus McLeod.
Jacob Conlon has kicked the only 4 goals of this final quarter. Remarkable. Jacob Conlon 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the final term. Morrison, true centre wing for the Dogs. Right foot kick, hugs the boundary line, trying to find Wilding. And Ben Kelly just says, get that out of here, boys. A big fist over the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. They're going to soak this one up, the Albury Tigers. It'll certainly help their chances of claiming top spot with a big percentage boost. They lead by 77 points, of course, around the grounds of Bing Lee. Yarrawonga 128 to 51 over the Rovers. Now it's Cameron back live here at the sports ground. Reece King wrapped up by Cohen Ainsworth. Probably a bit lucky not to give away a sling free kick tackle. But we'll bring the footy back into play. Right in front of our broadcast position at the 21-minute mark. It's the Tigers by 77 points for Border Carpets.
Yeah, Gus McLeod calling beautifully for McRae Motors here on 1494 2AY. Players going in here just down in front of our broadcast position. The umpire again will call for it. So we get another stoppage. Let's see who can win the clearance on this occasion. Umpire sends it aloft. Kelly, big sweeping one out of the ruck. Page got a touch. Here's Gaynor weaving through. Ainsworth nearly got him. Misses Wortman. Muller comes out off his boot. Ends up with Mathy. Mathy turns around. Right foot. Kitching. Good mark. And they play on the Bulldogs. This is what they need. Nice hand pass off to Bradshaw. Daring but good. And then goes forward. Let's have a look. Duncan in a one-on-one back there. Kicks it off the ground. Hodgson brought down in a tackle. Umpire called a play on. Hillary out the back to Lucas Conlon, and they shift it and get out of trouble to Heiner Hennessy.
Across half back, Colby kicks long down the line. He finds Riley Bice. Just behind true centre wing, clubhouse side. The corridor is where he wants to go. Dangerous kick. Bryden Hodgson makes a contest. Falls favourably now for Reece King, who switches back to Heiner Hennessy, who's just behind true centre clubroom side. Little chip kick's a nice one. Now it's Bice. Wants to find Hodgson. It's deja vu for the Albury Tigers. The Dogs have been caught napping on that occasion. 23 minutes gone. The Tigers in total and utter control. Inside 50. Morrison and the front read on Jacob Conlon, who just looks a little bit ginger. I'd be getting him off pretty soon, Jacob Conlon. Already kicked 6 as the Dogs slingshot into attack. Wilding wants to get a lead from Cassidy. Kicks to the fat side. They both lost their footing. Cassidy and Byrne. Now entering the race is Hodgson. Cassidy's got 2 to beat. He's done pretty well there, Jet Cassidy. Neutralised the contest. Falls the way of Michael Duncan, and the Tigers are out across half-back.
Yeah, and they lead by 77 points, the Albury Football Club, over the Wodonga Bulldogs today. So we're going 23 on the A.T. Jones time clock final term, and they are storming into September. The Albury Tigers, can they claim yet another trophy? Here's Deneen, and he wants to go inside 50. Conlon at the back. Well done, Lucas. Takes the mark. Just too strong on that occasion for Wilding. Now Page has got it. Half-back flank. Jacobs going to come wide to Hodgson. Goes inside to Cameron. Harry with the ball. Tigers just chewing a bit of time off the clock here. In absolutely no danger. And now big switch on as Hillary tries to find Grills on the outer side. And there is the siren. Convincing, emphatic winners. The Albury Tigers, a massive win. 16-11, 107 to the Bulldogs, 4-6-30 here at the Sports Ground. A 77-point margin when it was all said and done. Very shortly, we'll have our player of the day, Gussie. Looking forward to that. Thanks to Anytime Fitness. And Freaky's just left the box. He'll be making his way out with also Kylie to grab the on-ground interview.
Interesting to see who they go with today. Of course, Jacob Conlon would be a front runner with 6 majors.
Yeah.
Anthony Miles was very good. I thought Jake Gaynor
played his best game I've seen him for the Albury Tigers. I've only seen him for 2 seasons, but I thought he was very good.
Probably just died out of the second half a little bit after a really strong start. Obviously, Elliot Powell played a brilliant first quarter of footy, but then had his role change a little bit. It'll be a really interesting watch to see who Freaky and Kyles go for.
That's it, Gussie, yeah.
Looks like Hamish Gilmore's a little bit proppy here.
He's shortening his action, isn't he?
For the Albury Tigers, but big injury blows for Wodonga. Matt Sorochinski's on crutches with a hamstring. Reece Venturoni, an ice pack applied to his hamstring. Jack Yelland, a hamstring. And Angus Baker, we did not see re-enter the game at 3/4 time. His whereabouts is yet to be determined. We'll track that one.
It's getting hard for them, isn't it? And you mentioned, we know last week Tommy Johnson went down with that bone bruising to the lower leg, and Jordan Taylor with a hamstring gust. So they're adding up, aren't they?
They certainly are, and it's going to be a big, big factor in how well the Dogs can perform come September. Is the availability of their star players. It'll be a big watch for the Albury Tigers. Kylie King's just nestling away in there. We'll cross to her shortly. She's trying to get a hold of our Anytime Fitness player of the day. It looks like they've gone with big Jacob Conlon. Of course, 6 goals for the boy from Griffith, and he joins Kylie King boundary side.
Jacob Conlon, you got a nasty knock on that lip early on. What have you done?
Yeah, buddy Jesse Wilson got me and I split my lip with blood everywhere, but we'll be right.
What a great individual effort by yourself. You did a mighty job. I know the guys delivered it well to you as well, but you finished off in style.
Yeah, it's always good to kick a few, but it's only as good as your midfield, so they make me look good. It's always good having those blokes sticking to me. It's just good to get that win.
And what was the message at the first quarter time break? Because the Dogs got a run on you early on.
Yeah, they did. We just had to go back to our fresher, bring our fresher. We know we're in the game, so we had to go back to that hunting them and get after the footy, and thought we did that those last 3 quarters.
Oh yeah, it was a whole different team from then on. Well done. I'll let you enjoy the effort and the song with the team.
Thank you. Cheers.
Kylie King, boundary side with our Anytime Fitness player of the day, Jacob Conlon, instrumental for the Albury Tigers, kicking 6 big goals. And isn't that a great sight, Lukey? All the Albury Tigers walking off in unison. It's a beautiful sight seeing all the Albury Tigers just walk off, and they'll get a very warm reception, of course, as they walk off near the balcony, which is absolutely chock-a-block. You can't move on the balcony of that. The Albury Tigers Sponsors Day here at the Albury Sports Ground, and My goodness, they were treated to a show.
Yeah, absolutely, Gussie. They turned it on today for their spectators, as you mentioned. Big day for the club. Now, they got their draw too, haven't they? I think Freaky was saying as he joins us back. Yeah, the golf draw. So, now what does this involve? A helicopter, is that right? Is that arriving today, Freaky? What's the story there?
Tell me, Mike, on might help. I've never seen it before, Lukey, but yeah, they do the closest to the pin and they drop all the golf balls out of a helicopter, I believe.
So they get a golf marker and they stick it in the middle of the Albury Sports Ground, and then the chopper comes through.
That's a good one.
And drops about 5,000 golf balls onto the ground, and the closest to the pin gets the win.
So, is it happening today? We're not quite sure.
It's happening today after the game. So it could
Oh,
make
good.
for really interesting radio having a helicopter about, 15 metres away from our broadcast position.
Blown out of the box here, but I'm quite happy to be part of it.
Of course, the Albury Tigers are making their way into the rooms now. We'll track Kylie King in there as the Albury Tigers will sing the song. Normally a few expletives come through the microphone at this time when they're making their way through, so we'll kill the audio and we'll just wait till Kylie enters the room. Of course, Albury Tigers, they love doing getting the rooms nice and quiet, freaking out. They like doing the shh before they sing the song. It's an emerging trend in local footy.
I was going to say, and even in the AFL as well, you see a few teams doing that and just like get the nice big roar when they first start off the song. So, no, it's really, really good, and obviously a really good win from the Albury Tigers as well today. Obviously keeps track of the Yarrawonga Pigeons and trying to keep into that touch of that top spot for them and get that week off the first weekend of finals as well. So, wonder how they're going.
Crossing the song now. I reckon we're going to get it. The Albury Tigers too strong for the Wodonga Bulldogs, running away. Heavy victors here on O&M Live. Stick around, plenty more to come. We're going to go inside the rooms of the Albury Tigers, the Wodonga Bulldogs retrospectively, and summarise a big round 17 of SSNA Ovens and Murray action. You're on O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
Cavalier Homes. Every day.
Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a crumbed barramundi fillet served with chips and dill hollandaise from just $22.
All right.
Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Go where you can live and learn locally. Go where students come first. Go for the choice of 120 courses across 11 campuses. Go for it with GoTAFE.
0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton 0.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration, and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
At 2AY, we're your home of live sport. Every weekend we bring you the best live broadcasts of the Ovens and Murray football and netball. Listen this weekend on your radio or the 2AY app.